out, baby. Hey, wait for the notification.
Where's Ricky at tonight?
He was golfing actually.
Not a kid. Break it up.
Yeah. BMXers, they golf now.
I always have.
Kind of weird.
But it's the hot thing to do, I guess.
Contract
I don't know.
negotiation shit.
I didn't get invited.
Apparently.
No?
No, dude, I was busy like the Cabana Carter over there, barbecuing, getting lunch ready. Got a hell of a show. I mean, I
It's about it.
heard you got a hell of a guest.
Jeremy Strauss, Cord Bierman, what's going on? Billy, what's up, buddy?
Billy!
Sorry, Billy,
What's
we're
up,
late.
Cord?
Not
We're
working.
knees? PJ.
PJ O'Brien.
PJ knows, dude. He knows.
Yeah, he put something out last weekend, didn't he?
I tell you what, dude.
Sure seemed like it.
Don't flex on PJ. Hey, you see what the hell happened to Drew Polk when he tried to flex on PJ?
What, 7:15?
Yeah. 20 minutes late, Billy. Come on, cut me some slack.
It's time change.
Oh, shit. Michael Hull, Rick Shepard.
Flickcraft, Solana,
Chester,
Dortona,
Time
Rizza,
change.
Strauss,
Serrini,
Prophet, McDonald. What's up?
Diatorna.
I'm
Oh,
hey,
Natasha. What's up, girl? Tracy Ariza.
what's
Carl
up,
Prophet.
Sasha? Fresh out the creek. I heard the creek already got done.
Hot lap racing. Yes, I heard that too. Heard they've been done for about half an hour.
Man, hey,
Travis Stanford.
getting back to PJ. Hey, the shot heard around the world. It was
It's a matter of time.
Drew Polk trying to get him some of the freaking secret agent. And last week,
Didn't quite work out.
PJ put him in the freaking gun night.
There you go. Douglas Teague, Alex McDonald,
Yeah. What's up, G-Mo?
James Bobbitt, Brian Jenkins,
Oh, yeah, PJ, you're fire, bro.
Amy Parker,
What's up,
Sammy
Jody?
Karen,
Baker, Perkins,
Bacosa,
everybody.
Holcomb.
Oh, shit.
We're in.
Cardozo, what's happening, everybody?
You guys are reaching 70.
Jody Nolan,
What the?
Holy
everybody. Sean Buck checking in from Battleborn,
Everyone's
Reno,
showing
baby.
up.
Battleborn, we getting it done, son. I told, hey, I heard we got a hell of a fucking guest tonight.
I thought you told me Gabe Forrest was coming. He would be over here. He wasn't watching.
You know what? Flores was like, hey, dude, I'm gonna like DoorDash some micheladas, dude. Me and the mustache.
I'm
and
calling
shit.
Adina.
We're, dude, get
I'm
Adina
calling
on.
Adina.
Where's our
Is
secretary?
that TikTok?
NorCal Jimmy says he's on his way.
NorCal Jimmy's, he's all up on it, dude. Gmo. Oh, I did. Oh, hey,
Coming, Jeff.
Hey, who didn't see the TikTok with PJ, bud? I tell you what, hey, Luna never looked no finer, son. Let me tell you that, dude.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. That's good
Young,
shit.
what's going on? Giffy, have you guys started mains yet over there, dude? Or what the hell, dude? Are you guys on freaking California time over there? Come on now, Illinois. Rasheen Hicks.
Rasheen Hicks, what's up, dog? Your track's looking sweet, bro.
Tyreek got the front end.
Tyreek's got it rolling over
He
there.
put like 200 feet of freaking sprint gate.
You know what? I haven't got an invite yet either. I thought we were tighter than that. You got 10 spots open tomorrow. I didn't get an invite.
I'm pretty sure he's got Wi-Fi, dude. We could do the beer budget from the Rasheen compound, dude.
Keith Nance. What's up? 10 cents.
Ooh.
A former Pal Associated
Nance.
track.
Oh yeah.
About 84.
DeRusso,
Chiladas
what's up,
tomorrow.
Mikey?
What about tonight? Come on, Gabe.
Chiladas tomorrow. We could do chiladas tomorrow because, a matter of fact, we are doing the show again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Today,
Come on, Manteca Day.
yeah, today is episode 10.
9?
No,
To
today,
10.
today's
10.
110. Tomorrow's 109.
110?
110?
Yeah, today's 110. Tomorrow's 109. We're on like the reverse
Right.
of everything
We
because,
don't.
well, you know, Facebook jail throws a wrench in everybody's goddamn system.
I wouldn't know. I don't
Happens
know.
to the best of us.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
I'm just
Hey,
saying,
Diatorna, what's up, buddy?
DB's
All the way from New York.
Let's go. Where's Josh?
Oh, yeah.
Where's
Where's my boy, Josh Blair?
We need some
Sean
Josh.
DeLong.
I tell you what, if we could have Josh here in the studio,
I'd love for them to come out here. That'd be awesome.
I tell you what.
That would be good stuff.
We'll make it happen.
Walker.
Dude, had a
Jared
lot of-
Walker checking in from Rusty Bowl. Hell yeah, Jared. Appreciate you, dude. What's up, Jody Nolan? Miss you too, girl. James Bobby, you guys bail Nick out? Oh, Nick is on hiatus right now.
We can't say that because we might,
He's
go into his location.
yeah, he's getting his COVID test right now before he comes to the main stage. We got to be legit.
Body
I
search.
mean,
We gotta go through the body search too.
you know, cavity search,
Yeah.
the whole shit. You know, I mean, from Santa Clara County out here to the valley. You know, anything's possible. You know,
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
anything can fucking happen.
Tracy Con.
Trey Con, Labuga. Labuga, how's the nads, dude?
They're fine, don't worry.
He was a little sensitive this week over there on the track.
I would have met.
Well, I mean, dude, he hit them some bitches a ton, dude. I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah, it was all bad.
It wasn't good.
It was all bad.
It wasn't even pretty to watch, but it was entertaining.
Chris Johnson, what's up,
Lucha
Sarge?
Jones.
How you guys doing? Man, damn. Hey, appreciate everybody tuning in. We're at 92. Goddamn. And 92, Mike.
In 3 minutes.
We are just wait.
Oh, by the way, Nick's not going to be here.
Apparently, Nick's stuck in traffic, but we got Robbie Stanford on standby.
Oh, shit. Just kidding, guys.
Yeah.
John Crabtree, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, Crabtree. What's up, Big John? Dude, hey, good to see friggin' Battleborn out there running and everything. They got their state race and Gold Cup coming up in a couple of weeks.
He's got a golf cup. He don't have a gold cup.
Yeah, they got a golf
Well,
club.
I'm
They golf
more,
up there?
more than likely, I'm going to be rolling up there with Robbie.
You can. I've got a place for you to.
What's up, Sean? How you doing, buddy? Come on by, bro. We need to drink all this beer.
I'll pick you
Right?
up
Dude,
the way,
exactly. Hey, the shot heard around the world, Mikey.
Yeah?
Man, Jody versus Pope, man, under the same goddamn tent, dude. That's we get to Nick, but that seems to be the hot topic. We weren't going to be the ones to bring it up, but BMX Beers and Bullshit, but they brought it up. Tori and James over there on Coffee Chatter, they brought it up. So, I mean, might as well touch upon it real quick.
Is that my car?
Sort of.
Come on.
It's
Geske.
more. Goddamn it, Geske, put it on the
Mark
radio.
Tim, how you doing, bud? Brandon Walski. What up, bro?
Hey,
Mark Tim.
we gotta give a shout out to the people.
Dude,
They've been on
looking
the
good.
East Coast, Walski and Sneed and all the crew out there. You know, Riley Francis didn't make the trip out there last week and stuff. She was out here, but talked to the mom and dad. But hey, a little something for Richard Bunt because he's a big WCW fan. We're gonna throw hey yo, little Razor Ramon, baby, because you know how
The mayor rolls that way.
the mayor he's like, oh yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down, baby cakes. You know, so.
Yeah. Jeff Burgess, how you doing? Who's going? Rick's going to Albuquerque. I don't know who's going to Nashville.
Actually, would let you.
Yeah, not going to Nashville, gonna be in Albuquerque, leaving Thursday morning, Wednesday night. Unless they post a practice on Thursday, then we'll leave Wednesday.
Apparently, Nick had to stop and charge his Tesla halfway here. That's what they're telling me.
Well, apparently, I mean, homeboy got like a shit ton of messages.
Really?
He's a popular guy, man. I mean,
Well, if he'd show up, we'll know. We'll ask him when he shows up.
hey, the red carpet, velvet ropes will part, bro. Okay, you know how it is over here at the Beer Budget Bmx
Yes,
show. Dude, we just shoot from the hip, and whatever happens, happens. You know.
Mucho, who's saving a shitload of money not going to either.
You know what, Mucho? Whatever, dude. Whatever, Mucho. Come up here to NorCal.
There's a practice Wednesday and Thursday in Albuquerque.
Wednesday.
Looks like you're leaving Wednesday.
All right, I'm leaving Wednesday, dude. Ain't none good batch of rock stars. I'll go hit Rich Pelton up there. Be like, dude, give me like a 24 pack. We'll be dialed.
Duke City's got practice on Wednesday and Thursday as well. 5 to 9 both days.
All right, we're good. We can figure it out.
Look at that, all the information you get on the show.
I tell you, dude, we are just so fucking, we are informative as hell.
We try to be.
We do it.
But we could not do it without help from our viewers.
Dude, the viewers, hey, if you guys could do us a favor, like, share, subscribe, especially for tonight because it's such a big importance and epic deal.
We want to know who's on here, so
We want to get it out there.
that'll help.
You know, it's BMX track awareness on what's going on over here in our region, and for all the other track directors, volunteers throughout the states. You know, we really want to just bring it up because it's pretty much a fucking honestly.
It is.
You know, and I'm not gonna pull no punches.
No.
You know, I'm fresh out of Facebook jail.
Again.
But you know,
it's
shit
hell
is
convicts.
shit is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So let's bring on our guest, Nick Valencia.
Still holding up, dude. Can't blue pencil.
Yeah. Boo.
Hey,
Go, man.
hey, right on, Robbie. What's up, big boy? Got you.
Got
dog.
you.
Man, dude. Man.
There he is, Hornet. Now you got him. Now
In-
what?
In the flesh.
Long time listener, first time caller.
Million-time commenter. Yeah, but he led the league on our comments for a lot of times.
Well, but there's got to be an asterisk on tonight's show.
What?
Well, because
He can't comment.
He's in the studio.
Well, hey, you know what?
And against his will, he's in Facebook jail.
Hey, comment's a comment. Count it.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, dude, I'm going to throw that shit out there, dude. You know,
Jason Silva wants you to sign his kitty.
there's an asterisk.
I'm a man of the people. Bring it.
Silva, you said you were going to be here. Don't let me down.
Yeah, really.
All right, what's up? What's going on, Nick? How's everything, dude? I mean, aside from all the other, I mean, hell, dude, I don't even know
Yeah.
what to call it, honestly. I mean, seriously.
Honestly, I've been riding a bit more. There's the only silver lining is no track to run. So if there's a state race, catch me there. Good for a whole shot. Maybe not much more after that, but
Well, we were gonna get you on, but apparently, I mean, it just ran a little bit long.
definitely was a little. We had a good start, and we had. So for those that don't know, we plan on knocking this out last Saturday.
Yeah, the intentions were there, honestly, but I
Shit
mean,
happens.
it just
Drag a little.
we can't. There's things we just can't do, honestly. They think we're magical and shit.
What's up, Miss Tucker?
So,
How are you doing in Florida? How's the state race day for you?
So, all right, Nick. So, as a lot of people tuning in probably know, with the extravaganza that's going on with Santa Clara Powell and you and your crew being annexed from the facility and being taken away from like the Facebook page, like everything in general. I mean, to the viewers, I honestly, I mean, it's one of those things where you don't know where to start, honestly, you know, because of the circumstances, you know. So, how does everything, like, how did everything come in to perspective when you first came on board? Let's start at that. Like, as far as like, because a lot of the viewers don't understand the whole PAL thing and everything, and that's the biggest thing, especially across the states for the other track.
Yeah.
So maybe elaborate on that part.
So I'll give you a quick synopsis. Basically, the way it works is Santa Clara POW is a nonprofit organization, and essentially they hold the lease to the land, right? The city can't really do anything with the land. It's going to be developed at some point. The land's already been sold. It's kind of just a holdover pattern waiting for the developer to come down. That should last thing to get built. If you're familiar with Santa Clara, Levi Stadium went in a couple of years ago, and now they're going to basically develop all the way down, kind of just turn it into shopping, dense housing, all that kind of fun stuff. So my crew does, or did I should say, is we run the track on behalf of PAL. So PAL is pretty hands-off. They hold the land lease, and then what happens is our crew comes in, we run the day-to-day operations, all the back-end stuff. And basically we run the track and we turn over all that revenue goes to Santa Clara PAL. If you're not totally familiar with our track, we are hands down the busiest track in the entire USA BMX system because we actually run 3 race nights a week. If you were to call USA and tell them you want to run 3, they would tell you at best to do like 2 races and a practice, but you don't want to do 3 races. They tend to think that that kind of brings down the ridership and things like that. So for us, we have always run 3, so we keep that going. We try to promote more racing, not so much practice. So that's basically the nutshell of it. Is we do it for PAL. They keep the revenue. They, in theory, pay the bills, trophy expenses, things like that. We do all the marketing and basically the day-to-day execution of races out there.
Gotcha. All right. So for you guys tuning in that aren't familiar with the PAL kind of sanction or the body of going on, because honestly, Nick, Mike, Santa Clara and Atwater, I believe, are the only two PAL sanctioned tracks, or before PAL closed, are the only ones on the circuit.
Yeah. So the only other PAL track that I know of was Atwater, which has been defunct for a few years now. So Santa Clara would be the last PAL track still standing, which, if you consider it still standing as right now, but which almost lends to maybe that doesn't exactly work.
Right.
But yeah, Atwater was the only other one that I knew of, and that's now gone, and kind of Santa Clara is a little up in the air right now. So.
Right. Well, no, I mean, like, so bringing that up, I remember with Keith Nance, which, when I came back to the sport,
Keith, before Justice, yeah.
Keith, and then Justice and Jamie, when they took it over after Keith, they kind of went through a little bit of a rebuttal too on trying to get like backing on their end of it.
Yes, absolutely.
As far as support,
Right.
because a lot of us, Nick and a lot of the other riders that are out there, probably in the Bay Area or whatever, probably don't understand or know anything about Atwater. But Atwater on a Friday night was like the mom and pop track, where you would just like go out,
Have fun.
you probably had 12 motos,
Yeah.
and then you did more practice laps than you did racing.
Oh yeah, they were open. We would stay open until midnight on Friday,
Yeah.
Sunday nights. Keep leave it open. We just keep riding until he got tired and had to go home.
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly. So that's a to
That's
try.
a good, who was it said that? It's a good point. We show you YMCA's and PALs just don't work. We know YMCA is orange white.
Yep.
Same thing. It's
Yeah.
just another track
And-
that went under that was.
Yeah,
been
and
forever.
for everybody that's tuning in on the chat, the chat's not closed off, but we're here mainly focused to let Nick say his piece on everything that's been accused of.
Yeah.
Accused
out there.
of him and his volunteer board. Okay, but we will keep note, and we'll try and retract back towards the end of the show and get to your guys' comments and your questions. So how long has Santa Clara been under the PAL banner?
So it's been a PAL organization the entire time. So the biggest move, I would say, was when they went from Agnews to its current location. If you're not familiar, Agnews is just right up the street, maybe about up the road from where it currently is. That moved in the mid-90s, I want to say, and then it's been pretty much at the same place now for a little over 20 years. It's been a PAL program for about 30 years. And I mean, it's always, from when you start to look back at the numbers, I know a lot of people are kind of digging into the numbers of PAL a bit nowadays with all those allegations and stuff going out. But it's no secret for sure that the BMX program is what supports the entire population there in Santa Clara. They have different things that kind of go in and out: flag football, softball, judo, things like that. Soccer, just like normal little communities, 6 to 8 week programs or whatever. But BMX runs 50 weeks out of the year, 3 times a week, so that's kind of the
Oh wow, okay. Well, so that was one of the questions here in the itinerary. I didn't know there was that many PAL sports under the banner.
Oh yeah, they're paying for all of them.
Well,
I heard that
even
a
in
long time
Atwater.
ago.
I figured like
I
soccer,
wouldn't have bought
football, maybe softball, baseball, but
You're bringing that much money in, you're supporting them all.
Yeah. Okay.
Because what was the soccer was the next closest, like 50 grand they're bringing in?
yeah, and
Soccer or
and-
football, one of them.
yeah, it's either flag football or soccer. But I mean, and we'll probably touch on this later. Once COVID hit,
That was done.
yeah, they canned everything across the board, and BMX was the only thing to kind of keep going and keep the till stacking up. So,
Right.
kind of a testament to the volunteer crew and them kind of working through that and not taking what, in my consideration, would have been the easier way out of, hey, COVID's here, let's all kind of shut down and ride. But I mean, when you start to look back at what we've done in the last 2 years, we very well could have just hung it up and kind of waited it out like some other tracks did.
Well, I mean, not just the past 2 years. I mean, ever since you came on board. I mean, I know that's later on in the thing, and I'll probably repeat myself, but everything that you have done since you and your group have come on board has been positive.
Oh,
there's been nothing but like literally like the instant it happened was like tracker improvements, you know, snack bar, this, that, you know, motos, you know,
We
stuff
almost
like
refused
that.
to go to Santa Clara because it was just,
Yeah,
it was, I mean, the wind and the roughness and not dialed in.
yeah.
But he turned it around.
And
And people wants to go out there. I mean, it's a big, it was a huge difference what he did.
well, and the big thing is, is because before you and the Browns and Sereni's and everybody came on board, I mean, it was a legit track. I'm not taking nothing away from Orlando or anybody else, okay? But you know, it still had like that the mom and pop feel of a track, okay? So fast forward, everything changes over, okay? You got it. Bixlers are in it. Browns are in it. Serenas are in it, dude. And next thing you know, dude, it's like balls to the wall, and it's like, holy shit, dude. Santa Clara Powell's getting ready to be something big over here, you know. So what made you want to take that lead role after it was, let's say, presented or vacated after Orlando?
So I was helping when Orlando was in his last year. It was kind of writing on the wall. He was kind of done. He was driving an hour. He lives up the peninsula, like Redwood City area. So like for him to even get to the track on time was just getting a little harder. He runs his own business. And again, much respect to not just him, but every track operator before us, because especially going through what I'm going through now, you start to realize how much those people were working, you know?
Right.
So I'd say I was helping out. We had Alex Fowler that we did one big rebuild. I helped out quite a bit with that. And then Joey, and then ironically enough, one of our snack bar helpers at the time, Mari, was like, listen, you've been helping for a while. Why don't you just help us out? Like, you're always here, going with it, right? And so I was pretty straightforward with everybody. And I said, listen, I'll come, I'll be on the, but I don't want to do it and kind of, not that anybody was half-assing it before me, but if I'm going to sink my time into it, then let's make the thing go, right? Like let's shift into that next gear. Yeah, let's get going. And I remember when I first said that, everybody was kind of like, you know, when you're the new guy on the block, they're like, oh yeah, the young kid, the whippersnapper, right? Like, oh, he wants to come in and change everything. Right. And I'm just like, no, like we're watering for 2 hours before, and we're rushing to get here to water. Like we could just pave those turns, and then we never have to water again, you know. Yeah. And when I first said we were going to pave the turns, people looked at me like I was crazy, like you can't pave the turns. And I was like, why can't you? No way pal's ever going to let you pave the turns. And it's like, well, if we pave them, then who cares, right? Like if we get some sponsors to get on it. So that's what we did. Like we had a kid that their grandparents had run like a big paving company. They had retired, but they still had some contacts when they sold it. And that grandpa was like, yeah, I can manage the whole job. You guys will just have to pay for the paving part. But if you guys want to do it, let's do it. And like that was probably the first thing. And I won't be very shy about it. When we first took over, we moved away from, we were doing like $3 practices or something.
Right.
And we came in and said, listen, we're just going to do racing. Racing is $10. Like, it's hard to sell something for 10 when you're giving it away for 3, you know? Like we're wondering why there's 200 people showing up for practice, and then we post motos, there's 12 motos. Like,
yeah. We're
kind of shooting ourselves in the foot here. Why don't we just go to just practice only? If people are already paying that 10 and they're going to be on a moto sheet, like they'll race, you know? So that was the first thing we did, and we turned some people off, right? If you've been paying $3 for practice, and the new young guy's like, no, the track's going to be good, and some people trusted it. Some people were like, that guy, I'm not paying 3 times the price.
Yeah.
And it took maybe 6 months, but as soon as we got those turns in, you saw a couple people that were like, F that guy, I'm never going back. Those people started circling back. And then when we got to the next upgrade, we had the barrel gate that was sitting out in the in the parking lot. Yeah, just sitting in the weeds out there, right?
No, I mean, dude, the barrel gate was like such a
Game changer.
Right, Mikey? I mean, especially out here, because didn't nobody have it.
Still no, you're the only one that has it, period.
No
one else does.
You know, there's a handful of tracks over here on the East Coast that are getting the Pro Start electric gates. But I tell you what, dude, if it's me, I'm going barrel. You know, but I totally get what you're saying, Nick, because I kind of fell in that because you know, everybody like on the Tuesdays, you know, everybody just like wanted to practice or whatever. Well, dude, hey, I commute. At the time stayed at my mom's and this, that, and the other. It's like, dude, hey, I want to get some laps, dude. I want to race. You know, let's go. You know, but race laps ain't gonna hurt nobody.
Yeah.
You know, you go out there and practice all you want, dude. Hey, dude, I'm blowing out, dude. Hey, whatever. It's what it is. You know, shit like that. But no, that's a good point that you brought up. So, what initially opened the door on that end?
On that end, as far as
where you sat back and was like, all right, dude, you know what? Orlando's getting ready to retire. Okay, I think I got something for this.
yeah, I mean, the timing was right. So, I mean, a lot of people don't know. I did Parks and Rec for City of San Jose for about 10 to 12 years. That Lake Cunningham Regional Skate Park, yeah, if you guys have ever been to that skate park, I was there from the start of that. And then the dirt park that surrounds that, I actually started that myself. I have a good buddy named Ryan Nyquist, which little name drop there. If you're
I
familiar
heard
with
he's pretty good.
yeah, he's a little decent on a
just-
bike. Yeah.
Yeah, him and Cameron.
Yeah, and so
over there, Rant Rats.
yep. So
Oh, yeah,
I used basically I worked for the city of San Jose at the time. Basically used what I call his star power, right? And I said, hey, I got this X Games gold medalist. We got this skate park that's already doing great numbers as far as revenue and stuff. We want to go ahead and put in this dirt park. I had since left the city. Things just kind of got old ale there. They didn't really want anymore. They were just kind of happy with having the dirt park. So I wasn't working nearly as much. And then, so what happened was, right about that time is when I started helping out at the track a lot. So I just saw the opportunity to basically shift the focus that I was already doing at Lake Cunningham and doing with the dirt park there, shifted over to the track. And to me, the track had plenty of potential and just didn't have anybody to steer it.
Yeah.
So with Orlando going out, they seem to be pretty kind of like fresh-minded, like, yeah, we can try it this way, we can try something else, whatever. And then, I mean, we hit the ground running, and literally in that first, I'd say, like I said, 6 months, once we got the turns in, we got another local dad, Frank Fox, that did a lot of concrete work for us. His kids were still racing at the time. He was doing Albanese construction at the time. He's like, listen, if you guys want some help with that gate, again, you guys pay for the materials. I got dudes, we'll come out here, we'll knock it out. We put in that barrel gate, no cost to PAL, kind of saved them a ton of money and got it actually installed. That was just sitting out there in the parking lot. And right when it was like, we had already had a rebuild, then we got the gate, the turns were in, and it was like off to the races.
Game changer.
Yeah, like, and we went, and then the ridership just kind of doubled, and we went from
Everything.
yeah, we went from 12 motos, 13. If we cracked 20 motos, we were happy. And then it was like 30, 35 motos, 40 motos. And it's like, yo, this thing's kind of starting to steamroll. And like with all things, you'll go back to a track where you're getting a class, right? If you go to a class and you're racing a 9 inner and a 17X and you're a 32-year-old beginner, like, yeah, it's not that much fun. And you can say, oh no, that kid's chasing the rabbit. But after a while, it does suck to never catch a class. You know, it just is what it is. So once those classes start making, and then you start to kind of fill it out and you start to see those classes, then you're starting to get semis. I mean, we had a streak where we were doing quarters and 5 and under novice for like a year and a half straight.
Well, that's been the thing, dude. The growth of the sport.
Yeah.
You know,
It's definitely growing. At the time when it would.
well, and for something like this to happen with him and his crew, it's like
Well,
the local
it's called greed.
BMX regime
Right.
is like paying the price. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know, like honestly, like what was up with that post? I think it was like last Sunday. There was a parent that posted something saying, "Oh, dude, you know the track was open. My kid fell. You know, if Nick and his crew would have been here, everything would have been copacetic. Everything."
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, like, we sometimes get a little bit of a bad rap because we run things such a tight ship, right? Like, if you come to Santa Clara PAL, we're not letting you park your car here, or we're not letting you do this, or we're not letting you slide with no number plate. So a lot of the things we do, people think we're just kind of being hard asses or whatever. But later on when you thank us and be like, hey, thanks for running that 120 moto race in 2 hours, those are a lot of the things that you'll see like we're being sticklers about. But yeah, the reason that we aren't going to let you on the track with no number plate is because if you come across and we can't score you, now we got to stop the whole race to say, hey, who was in the blue jersey or whatever. Now everybody's waiting because you want to be the cool guy with no number plate. Or the reason we had to say, yeah, you can't park right there. Well, to you it's an empty spot, but to us we know that's a fire lane. So if some kid goes down,
Exactly.
we don't want to be, okay, now we're the people, who's driving the white Tundra, you know? So a lot of the times where people are get a little bit frustrated with us, it's like, actually those are the same things that you love us for later, you just don't realize it until it happens, or it's until it's your kid, you know? So
the kid that got hurt, his mom's in here right now.
Yeah,
he was bleeding from the eye.
yeah, and so that's another thing that a lot of people don't really understand is like with my crew, I went out and I made sure that everybody's CPR certified. Like everybody is just as qualified as me to treat a lot of those injuries and things like that. But those are things that the PAL board, they never went and said, hey, you got 6 people out here, is anybody medically trained? I just take upon myself, I pay for myself, things like that. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of that stuff that like really people don't see, but it goes on. Means that for me, that's part of having a dial program. Like, yeah, if you can run a race fast or whatever, but all that goes out the window if your kid goes down, gets scraped up, or breaks an arm, and nobody knows what to do, and we're all kind of running around like chickens with our heads cut off, you know?
Oh yeah, no, you definitely, you gotta cross your T's and dot your I's, honestly.
Especially when it comes to kids getting hurt.
You know, and that's one of the biggest things that you have initiated over there at your track. You know, and there's a handful of other tracks that do the same thing too. And like you said, you know, you get kind of ridiculed for it for being a hard ass, but you know what? Hey, rules are rules. Safety's safety. Dangerous enough already as it is. You know.
Look what happened at the national you guys had. I mean, if the fire trucks come through, the back line one. Yep. Where we were parked at.
Yeah,
but I mean, it was tight.
Romero went down.
Exactly.
Right.
Which was a big wreck. He was hurt.
Yeah, it was a legit thing.
You're right. But they got through because they had been monitoring it to make sure that. I mean, a couple of the others some easy ups to tighten it up a little bit, but they still got through. But if that wasn't there, I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. The longer it takes for him to get to the hospital, the worse it can be.
Exactly. And when those things happen, I mean, you don't know, like, and Nate Romero's fall was a big deal, you know? But you don't know if something goes from, like from that kid going from a concussion to a seizure to a collapsed lung, like, those things where you think you got 10 minutes to, oh yeah, we'll figure it out, like, you don't always, and yeah, I mean, knock on wood, of course, you never want to see that thing happen, but how much better would you feel if, hey, that happened, we couldn't control the crash, but we did everything under the sun that we could to make sure that kid got the best medical attention that he could. So it's a deal. I know I'm definitely a stickler about it, but I think overall, crossing your T's, dotting your I's, like you said, our program, and those are the kind of things when people see that stuff happening, they get more safe bringing their kid back there. They remember, even if it wasn't their kid, they now know, hey, if something does happen, I do know that guy's a firefighter, that guy's an EMT, that guy's been trained. They know that we're not going to kind of play the guessing game. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Well, should we call? No, we're going to err on the side of caution. If you want to wave it off as a parent, there's no charge. You say, nah, I think he's good. He's going to suck it up. We're just going to throw him in the car and drive him over.
Right.
No problem, wave it off, no big deal. But
it's
for us, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And you know what, Nick? You know, the one thing that we've been always like promoting for the past year and a half is like the whole agree to disagree.
Exactly.
You know, because like what Nick said, it's like, hey, dude, you know, I might come off as a prick, or my volunteers might, you know, this, that, and the other. It's like, hey, dude, shit is what it is. You know. I mean, yeah, hey, I'm going to voice my opinion, like, damn, dude, man, that double's kind of steep. Hey, dude, learn to get over it. All right, cool. Hey, point taken. Hey, I got it. But you know what? But when you have your staff is, like, dialed to a T for something like this, when something catastrophic happens, how can you freaking wave a camera?
You can't.
You know? Well, I mean, not just with Nick, but with any other track.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and then you go and scrutinize him and his peers, his volunteer group, which has been solid. How long have you guys have been solid, Nick? And I tell you what, dude, you guys have been with the minimum amount. I mean, I'm not gonna go and throw overhead because like really it's not business, but hey, we're tight, we're good, we got the shit covered. So-and-so knows his deal, she knows her deal, this, that, and the other, and we're gonna get it done. So, how? I mean, just because I know there's a lot of probably other track operators tuning in,
Everyone's got to be vested.
you know, and
That's what it comes down
everything.
to.
So, what brings that? What exposes that whole nature?
Yeah, so, and just recently, right, like, and just like you guys are saying, we got a pretty dialed ship, and I'll be the first one to admit, all crew, but small in because what the good part about having a small crew, we legit have 3 people that vote on stuff, right? It's myself, Marissa, and Joey. If we want to make a change, we want to go out and buy something, it's the 3 of us. If I say, hey, I want to do this promo, it's going to cost us $2,000 in prizes, it's 2 people to talk to, and all I got to get is one of them, and that's a majority vote, right?
Right.
Now, I know the fancy thing is everybody wants to add everybody. Oh, you need a 7-person board and a 9-person board.
Right.
BMX moves so fast that just to get, I mean, and I'm the first person to say, it's hard for me to get my 3 to 5 people in a room to say, hey, we need to vote on whatever. So for me to try to get a 7, 9, 11-person board together, I may miss out on 2 or 3 opportunities. Mike can call me and say, hey, I know this guy, he wants to sponsor a tomorrow, what can you do? I don't want to have to call 5 people to say, hey, we might take this sponsorship, what do you guys think? No, if it sounds good and I can get 1 person on board, we're moving on it, right? Like, and just being able to pivot, and sadly enough, and just knowing what I know, the more that you add, you're dealing with more mentalities, more opinions, and to me, we have a parent of a rider, Marissa Serini, who does a lot of stuff on the national level and has seen her 2 kids from just knucklehead kids doing Strider.
Man, you ain't kidding.
Yeah, so she has that expertise, kind of knows what it should look like from a national sense, knows what it should do from there. And then you get Joey Bixler, whose nephew is now out of the sport,
right,
kind of just running around doing cars and stuff, which good. But testament to him still sticking around. But again, he watched his kid come up from the ranks,
right,
gets a lot of go-kart racing experience, so he's going and seeing a lot of stuff. And then you have me, an ex-rider, which to me, not kind of thumping my own chest, but it's invaluable for somebody who is a rider to then take the reins of something. You know what matters. You know when you get to a track and you're like, yo, it's going to be 105 today, and they didn't put a shade over staging. I hope they run fast, because it's going to suck to stand here and stage and sweating your balls off.
Man, you ain't kidding.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's definitely things that a rider and only a rider is going to know. And those things, you can't put a price on it. I seen somebody post last week that they ran double bikes, and then they got to the end of the day and they didn't get a trophy. In my opinion, as a rider, when you get to the end, and especially if you're doing double bikes, right? You've now done laps a day. You finally get that win.
Oh yeah, dude, you're burnt.
Yeah, and you get to the finish line. You got the win, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we ran out." The hell you mean you ran out of trophy? I paid my $50 just like the other kid paid the $50. Like, and so for me as a rider, there's just some shortcuts I don't take. I will eat the cost of wasting trophies and I will repurpose them, but a lot of those things like that, those are the invaluable things that having a rider represented on your board that knows promo, that knows riding, that just like you said, if that's a steep double, Joey's never ridden and Marissa's never ridden. Them, that double looks good to me, but I could go out there, or I can hear a Deegan and be like, yo, that double's got a problem. All right, cool.
Yeah.
We got to fix that. So you start to get a lot more value by having that rider in there, and that's when, to me, like I said, it's invaluable what everybody brings to the table, and then kind of what each person brings. And the other good part about having 3 is it makes everybody accountable.
Right.
Because if Joey doesn't show up, we now don't have an announcer.
Right.
Now, good that I can announce and I'm comfortable doing it, but it makes it that much more important because he knows he has to show up, hell or high water. If Marissa wants to skip out, she's accountable because now we know that I have to do not only, I have to do sign up and I got to get out there to make sure that I'm doing staging or I got to pull a stager. And I can't say enough about Derek Brown, Benny, Deegan, Mateo, everybody else. There's plenty of people behind the scenes that are still helping out quite a bit that don't get the pat on the back. They're just, because they're affiliated, they're family members, Kim Brown, all those people, they kind of just, they're assumed, but they don't get it because they're not on the board. But for us, all those people are family. They're all essentially board members.
Some of them don't even race, and they're still
exactly.
Because they've been here long enough to know.
No, like you said about Joey, you know,
Yeah, his kids racing cars. He don't need to be at the track.
Yeah, his nephew.
But he loves the sport. I mean, and most of us in this sport have been long enough. Either you love it or you're just in it just for something.
I mean,
The 11 are here for the duration.
I mean, dude, when Ricky took 2 years off, hey, dude, I was like, I ain't doing it.
Now my son quit.
I'm not getting it.
Didn't stop.
You know, here we go. You know, hang on. You know, it's good that you said that, Nick, because I think a lot of track operators and a lot of the volunteers probably don't realize that. You know, and a lot of other families that would venture for the beginning of this year or into the last year, realize on what it all takes. You know, it's a well-oiled machine, even though, like you said, you know, you're a small group, you know, it's easier that way. You know, it's only a handful, and we can freaking knock the shit out, you know, and a lot of people don't see that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how come you don't have like 20 volunteers or 30 volunteers? You know, it's like, hey, dude, cross your T's, dot your I's, shit's covered.
Yeah.
And like you said, you know, you got like Benny, Teo, Deegan, you know, and all the other kids that are involved between the snack bars, staging, sign-ups, the finish line, you know, everything in between. You know, it's a big thing, and a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah, and a lot of it too, and I mean, just to brag on like Deegan, Benny, and like those dudes, that's the next wave, right? Like, I got in when I was, 32 already when I started helping. Imagine if we can get those guys helping and get them to realize the culture of it. Because when I have them doing coaching with me, the biggest thing I'm trying to teach them is coaching is great. And you want every kid to be fast or whatever, but you want them to realize how much of an asset coaching is to keeping those new riders at the track, developing those skills, because those riders are going to stay around longer. If a kid goes out and crashes on the jump 10 times and is just making the same mistake over and over, first of all, you got to hope that he keeps getting back up 10 times and figures it out on his own.
Right.
Or you see him crash once and you go, hey, little Johnny, check this out. If you get your butt back a little bit farther, that thing's not going to buck you as much, or you get your weight over the front. That kid's having a better time because he's not crashing. He's now met with you, so now he's not so much the new kid, because now the new kid on the block knows Coach Benny, who's the factory kid or whatever, you know? So getting those kids inclusive and into it, that way they're not the new guy for so long, they're not kind of the person who just gets there. Everybody has that first day, so if you can pair them up with somebody experienced, somebody that's respected in the community, get them plugged in, those people stay longer, they spend more money in the sport, and you never know who it is, because that kid, their uncle could be an exec at Twitter, or you know what I mean? You never know, that kid that you're helping could be the one who, oh yeah, that guy actually owns 22 acres and needs to invest $6 billion.
Well, Chris Baresi was talking about how his kid was getting ready to move up, and you actually overheard him talking about it. And when the kid crossed the finish line, he won with that win, with the horn, and he says thanks. I mean, it's just that kind of shit that it's above and beyond.
Yeah, and it's just like you said, like,
Well, it's a big thing, man. It's a big topic. It's a big issue, and the kids just, they feed off it, man.
Right.
Right now. You know?
Absolutely. I mean, you move up. You want to know. You want people to know about it.
Yep.
You earned it. You earned it. It's a lot of work to go from novice to intermediate and intermediate to expert. It's a lot of work. You do. Hey, someone saying "attaboy" and making it public. It's a nice kind of deal.
I mean, talk about how the families and the whole trickle down effect, and you know.
How many horns went off at the Santa Clara National this year? There was a shitload of them. Oh my God! Everybody turned at the Santa Clara National this year. It was awesome.
Dude, everybody but Rigo Solano.
He's never gonna turn until
Rigo, you're in the chat, dude. I just threw your shit out
Yep.
there, dude.
Until Eric turns him, it's not gonna happen.
I don't have that authority.
Eric does. Now, Redbone used to do it all the time.
I tell you.
for the record, I have turned over the horn to Eric. That way, when it happens, he will have the horn. It will be at the ready and ready to go.
Sweet, that's awesome.
You know what? You're one of the tracks I haven't announced that yet.
Because no one likes you.
Not even the Striders.
Well,
Yeah,
actually-
how do you deny the short guy?
So here, well, no. So that's a
They
perfect.
can't see
Yeah,
you.
they
That's
can't
So
what it
here's
is.
a perfect. That is a perfect point.
Damn, I knew this was coming up. I was hoping. I didn't know.
No, yeah, no. So here's a perfect point, right? And I tell everybody all the time. I'm like, I am super protective over who we let announce, and not you specifically.
No, I get it.
But no. But like, so other people
Hey,
know.
dude, I'm fucking wide open. I don't blame you.
Because here's the
at
thing,
all.
right? Like, let's say you do get excited and be like,
F-bomb.
that guy was fast as shit out there.
Damn
Let me
straight,
tell you,
dude.
if I have a rap song play and there's an unedited lyric that sneaks through, people are so quick to fire out the email down to City Hall and say, I heard Nick was listening to Young Gotti and whatever, and I heard music about stripping, and then it's like, everybody is so quick. So again, that's one of those things, you could think, yeah, Nick's just being a jerk and never want to let me get on the mic. But for me, I'm like, no, there's a whole story behind that. And it's one of those things like, yeah, let's have that conversation. Be like, listen, I'll give you a dry run. You can go for it if it works out. And it's a lot of that thing, right? Is people don't know that there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that will sometimes have to shape my decision and to kind of.
I wouldn't let him.
Yeah,
No, I totally get it. I totally get it.
Especially if you got to answer somebody.
Dude, hey, I'm like 2 pots of coffee deep, dude, every day. And God forbid it be a race day. It's like, dude, I've been up since 2 a.m., dude.
As usual.
Give me the mic.
Yeah.
Let's
No,
go.
I mean, and honestly, 98% of the time you were spot on without the dropping anything. But there are occasions, but at those tracks, they're not answering
Well,
anybody.
and the
Like
thing
Nick
is, exactly.
Right.
I understand where Nick's coming from on that shit. And you know, hey, the whole agree to disagree shit
Told you, like you.
is totally is totally right there. You
No,
know,
yeah, you don't want, why get yourself in trouble
Mhm.
over something so silly? You know, if you know that Victor's not going to say anything he shouldn't say, and he's not going to say anything, so we're covered. That saves my ass.
Apparently, one of us is in Facebook jail because somebody fucking said something that they shouldn't have said. I'm free. I'm like, yeah. Hey, I'm 3 days clear. What about you, Nick?
I'm 15 days away from being clear.
So we're gonna bring you back from Moto 2.
Yeah, and I've not even done a clone account. I've been tempted, but I'm just gonna serve out my 30 days. I got my first issue ever. I got a solid 30 right from the jump. But
First time?
yeah,
Jesus
first time
Christ,
for
dude,
30 out the box.
He's a rookie. You're a vet pro, bro.
Dude, I know the ins and outs, dude. But I tell you what, dude. Goddamn, like the BMX version of Cool Luke, dude. It's like,
I've never been in Facebook jail, but I try not to post nothing to get myself in trouble.
you're the co-host, Mikey.
Someone needs to be out of trouble, I guess.
I mean, but shit. Fuck, dude.
I don't care about the music, just turn it down. I'm getting old. Come on, Sincerely.
Big Jack.
Set the car.
Dude,
Set the car. You're
Uh,
not watching Stella anyways. You
Okay, so
maybe she's gonna wreck.
okay, so ever since you and the crew came on board, the upgrades like
Nonstop.
literally started from jump. I'm talking the
framing around-
barrel gate,
Yeah.
the lights, snack bar,
Framing.
drainage,
Well, the framing around the starting hill.
the framing over there on the starting hill for the national
On the
to
finish line.
get ready for that, and everything. So what was it? Where it was like, okay, guys,
Mark LaPaglia is absolutely true right now. For those who don't know, Mark LaPaglia is from Arizona. His dad is an attorney. His dad has gotten me out of jail on more than one occasion, and that is 100% a true story.
he's
No one's safe on this show.
Yeah, no, he's a solid viewer, dude. He shows up every freaking weekend.
Stop it, Paulie. We're done without the practice.
So where was like, okay, the new regime, okay, here you go. It's like, where do we start at first?
So
How did that entail?
yeah, so I mean, for me, it was let's clean this place up. And again, no knock on the track operators before, but like nobody had ever thought like let's put some ground cover on the inside of the track, you know? And that's one of those things in pictures. It just bugs me when a track will be super nice, but it's just like candy wrappers, dirt, raggedy, the old broken shovels are kicking around, a pack of GPC red. Like, let's clean this place up, you know, get in some ground cover. So we did some ground cover. Like I said, we paved the turn. We were one of the first, if not the first track in the area to kind of figure out slurry. Chico helped us with it. They were kind of, I'd say, the region.
Yeah.
We did theirs a bit different just because we couldn't get theirs to work, but we kind of figured out what worked for us. And since have kind of gone and helped out different tracks and things like that. But just a lot of it was cleaning up, and then, like Mike said, doing the staging and the start and finish line banners, and just a lot of it was like, you can't say, well, why doesn't Apple want to come spend money, and why don't people want to sponsor us? Well, are you putting your best foot forward? If you could take a step back and not take it personal or anything, is that your best foot forward? Most times people will be like, well, it could be a little better. Well, for me, I'm pretty hard on a track. I go out to the Florida tracks and they're looking pristine. I mean, those things are dialed to the nines. I go to Oldsmar and I'm like, dude, this place is incredible.
Grass everywhere.
Don't even give me started.
Exactly.
Florida, bro.
And for me, and again, that's where it becomes invaluable, right? Is when you go to see those other places, you can bring back a little bit of what you liked about South Park and what you liked, and maybe something that you do there doesn't work there, but now when you come back, you're like, yeah, don't do that because that's a problem. It creates a problem down here. And just learning and taking the good from everywhere and just infusing it into your local program.
Well, I mean, dude, that shit, dude. Talking about Florida, I mean, they got their state final series
1,200 riders.
piping off 200 and what was it, Mikey?
235 motos.
35 motors.
For state finals.
For state finals, you know, they got a whole different layup on what we do and everything. But you know, Nick, I'm glad you brought that up because you said, dude, like the Florida tracks, like pristine and all this shit. Was like, man, dude, you could do like pee-wee golf.
Yeah.
Between the second straightaway, it's like, where's the windmill and the goddamn water fountain? Like, holy shit.
Yeah, and like I said,
You know?
just a lot of that is, like I said, finding those things you like about other tracks, bringing them to your track when you have the ability to do so, making it happen, and people appreciate it, right? Like, for me, a big thing, like, and I'll be the first one to say, PAL to me, even to this day, is still a shit track. Like, it could be so much better, and I against a harder scale, and I don't feel bad when I tell Joey, we got shit up. You know, like, yeah, and it's like, for me, that's not our best foot forward. We're doing the best we can given the situation, but I remember when I first said, well, we're gonna go ahead and pave these turns, and people were like, well, you're gonna move this track, so there's no sense in paving the turns. Well, that was 5-6 years ago, so should we have ridden on
And you're still there.
yeah, loose, crumbling turns? Like, yeah, it's a perfect excuse to say, nah, you don't want to make that investment. But for me, not BS. What are you going to do with the money anyway? Put it back into the track, put it back into your ridership, and so be it. If the turns lasted 5 years and they piled it, my biggest thing was, when they come to move you, make them move the best foot forward. Don't let them come here and say, cool, you just got a bunch of dirt. Well, yeah, there's piles of dirt everywhere, so take your pick. Make them come in and say, wow, you got some infrastructure here. Yeah, we can figure that out. We can have city streets do your turns. I don't know what the surface is, but it looks fancy, so we've got to dedicate some money for that. And yeah, I don't know if it's going to be worthwhile to pull that aluminum out for that, so we'll go ahead and but you've got to have everything out there. That way, when you do have to move, don't use it for a reason to make an excuse. Use it for a reason to invest back in your program and grow it.
If it's a shit track, it's easy for them to tear it down.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier. Yeah, when there's no infrastructure, to sweep a little dirt under the rug is a whole lot easier.
Well, and that's been the biggest thing. We're gonna run over it anyway. But that's been one of the things, though, Nick, is that you and your crew have done nothing but
Positives.
exactly like
It's all bad.
just going forward. I'm talking.
I didn't even want to go there before. I mean,
Grab the
not
bull-
just before you, but I mean,
grab the
back
bull by
to
the
04,
horns
05, 06, I mean, it just
and
always,
shit. It's like, dude, the soil
Yeah.
tack, the barrel gate,
Well,
the whole
bleachers,
Bleachers, yeah.
The
If
bleacher-
anybody
the
bleachers,
Oh,
but
no.
you know,
they put them bleachers around the first turn and the last turn, dude, it was a bang. Everyone could see the track.
and that's the thing. You know, the old track, not taking away from Orlando or the other group.
Work
Okay.
with what you got. That's all it
Now
comes down to.
you got turn 1 and turn 3, and bitches coming in hot.
The only bleacher we had was one that Brandon Cato was doing plows up on top of on the first straightaway, which were short and very few. But yeah, it came in, the bark came in, the asphalt, I mean, dusty, it's not as gnarly when you're out there. It's experience. I mean,
It is.
I hate to say it, I hate to give this guy compliments, but goddamn, you know, it was a fun track to go
No,
to.
I mean, shit, dude, he drove an hour and a half to get here in a Tesla. I mean,
But yeah, so it was free, it didn't cost nothing. Whatever. I'm not getting credit. No, honestly, I used to not like going there. Me and my son, we just didn't go because it wasn't what we wanted to ride. You know, we compared everything to Black Mountain, because we were there all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
But they changed everything, and it got better, Even before you took over, it was still better. But when you took over, it changed a lot of people's opinion of the track. Even though it was always windy, it still was a track you could ride
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and enjoy it.
Yeah, and the wind thing is like there's nothing you can do about
That's
it. It's the Bay Area.
Manteca's the same way.
I lived there for fucking 20 years. Okay, it's gonna be windy.
That's all they windy.
Hey,
You know.
don't forget the level of competition at that track.
Oh,
Yeah.
now they have the asphalt code, now they have the slurry code, now they have
Back in
the
2000s.
The whole
people are showing up.
the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Back in the day, people didn't show up there because it was like they didn't want to ride it, they'd go somewhere else, but now,
And here's another thing too, and this I think
Thank
kind
you,
of gets
dear.
lost in translation as we kind of just chalk everything up to
he don't
growth.
drink.
But I think
There's waters in the.
I think what happened
He don't
is
want it.
I think what happened was when we stepped it up, and I won't point out any track because people take it personal.
Right.
But I think it absolutely made the caliber of every track because people didn't want to get left in the dust. Because then your local riders are like, yo, if Santa Clara's TO can figure it out and say, you know, they're getting nicer stuff
Really?
over there, why don't we kind of get some of those things? And to be fair, a lot of those tracks, some of them reached out publicly, somebody reached out privately, whatever, but we were an open book.
Yes.
This is what's worked for us.
Right.
Here's who I hooked up with that did it. Here's the recipe for the glue. I don't know if you guys remember, but I would argue all the time with people like, Manteca can do slurry, and people, it will never last. There's
Dude,
no way. And I would argue till I'm blue in the
man.
face.
Shit,
And I'm like,
dude.
listen, it will work. But I think what kind of gets lost in translation, and again, I'm not taking credit for it, and I'm glad that all the other TOs did it. But you go back 5 years when we started doing it, we were kind of the only one doing it. But now, if you start a track tomorrow, you have that list of what things you need to get done within the next
Your
couple
shit
years.
better be freaking
And the
correct.
ridership deserves it, and now the TOs know that they have to kind of.
Well, that's the thing
Put that
because
out there.
what was it? Jesus Christ, what the hell were we in? We're in 2022. 2016.
Cassandra Karen with a perfect point. We can circle back to that one in a second, but yeah.
That's how I met Nick, asking questions about how to run a track. Gotcha, Cassandra. What was it
She
where?
comment.
Was it like 2016? Okay, it was the Chico National. Where-
Right, it was 109 degrees and shit.
Okay,
Yes.
it was, yeah, dude, shit was hella hot.
Shade everywhere, but
The
still.
motos were down, but then they were like, hey, dude, if you ain't got X amount of motos,
You don't get national.
yeah, you can forget
Yeah.
about a national.
You give it to us in July in California, what do you expect?
That was the steal.
Come on.
Come on, son.
I mean, 109 degrees, no one wants to go out and ride their bike in
Don't
109
nobody want to
degrees.
see me run around naked. Goddamn hack shack stickers on my nipples.
We're in a hack shack
Again?
long.
He still has that too, by the way, just so you know.
Hey, man, I gotta do what I gotta do, dude. Contract's up tomorrow.
Every
Yeah,
Sunday.
so,
But yeah.
So how does that go? You know, because that was
Well,
just
they-
about the.
I'm surprised you guys didn't get it. The year before last national, so low, I mean, you get another one was a big, kind of a chance for the ABA.
Well, yeah,
It worked out.
And I mean, I'll go ahead and be the first one. I mean, this will probably be the first time I'm saying it publicly, but, and even, this has been my 3-5 year plan, and it's funny, because if Luno or Gmo or somebody will.
Oh, Gmo.
Yeah, like, they'll
Gmo,
hop
man.
in and say not a chance or whatever, but my thing is, and it's working, right? Because, and people don't realize, but I've got all these crazy 5-year plans, and they seem crazy until they happen, and you're like, oh, that guy's, he's just on his shit, right? So my 3 to 5 year plan, and it's already working, like, it took us a couple years to get our national to a big one, right? So now ours is like, it's a respected, and as it gets bigger, it's just like a local track. It's now known as, hey, that's a bigger turnout. So
Go
now,
grab
if you're a 16X, you might have skipped that one, but you're like, well, shit, they had quarters. Now you might need that score. It's
Right.
not just a throwaway score.
Right.
So now, and if everybody remembers, and some haven't been here long, but we down to just one national a year with Bakersfield, and we were lucky to get whatever it was,
Yes.
the Falls.
Yes.
Falls down in Lake Paris. And so now, and I'm happy and sad at the same time, right? But moto-wise and rider count-wise, we smoked Oregon Indoor this year, right? They ran a couple weeks after us.
Right.
Right.
Knowing what I know what it costs to buy out that indoor for the weekend. So now I make the argument to Gmo or Chris or John David or anybody at the sanctuary. I said, why do you want to go spend $20,000 and you send out a builder to get that organ indoor again for $150 when we did 223 at Powell? That same 223 motos of people will go up to Oak Creek, guaranteed. It's all the same people, and you don't got to give Oak Creek $20,000. Now, whatever you want to give them, that's fine, but everybody appreciates it, and USA BMX gets a pat on the back when they can put those nationals at those established tracks with a storied history, all that stuff. Now, if Oak Creek drops the ball or Manteca drops the ball or whatever happens and it never comes back, so be it. But when you've figured it out and you've made that argument, and when the numbers come out and the ridership deserves it, and you've proven yourself as a powerhouse, because that's what we have right now. Our region is 100% a powerhouse for memberships, local races, state races. So USA BMX is not dumb. They're going to ride that wave. And now that we're beating other races, it makes a little bit more sense to say, you know what, maybe we should go back to that region. And yeah, maybe it's Powell 2 times, or you bring in a Manteca, or you go back to a Chico, or you finesse some track into building a note and say, hey, if you guys get this track on board, we can get you a national, because we need another facility that can hold a national in the area. But those are the things that people don't, but those are the things that I'm on,
Right.
because that's the stuff, because as you get the West Coast back strong again, getting those 8 scores isn't as hard. Right now you got 4 scores, or maybe you get 5 if one of them's a 3-day, but if you can get those West Coasters back, you get them on the hook earlier. That novice hits his first national earlier, he's going to stick around. He's going to go do the next one, the
We had
state
5 or
series.
6 a year for a while.
Yeah.
In the early 2000s, we had 5 or 6
2000s.
nationals a year.
Right.
We had
Yes, we did.
Orange Show, we had
Reno.
Ontario, we had 2 in Reno, we had Bakersfield, Tulare,
Oak
Roseville,
Seaside,
Yep.
down there.
We've had nationals 6 a year, and now all of a sudden we're down to 1, 2, 3,
Yep.
and we have more riders than anybody.
And that's when the concerted effort to say, we're not just going to say we're bringing it back, but we're going to put in the work, grow
Right.
it culturally, get it organically, and bubble it up again.
Well,
And I feel the same way about the A Pro class. Like, that's what you've got to do, is you've got to get a hold of all your single A Pros, and if they're the West Coast, and even if it's just the blue collar working, like
Anthony
the-
Pasquale.
yeah, like Pete. Pete's a perfect example. He's not going to chase a pro career when there's only 1 or 2 races on the West
You only
Coast.
get $300 for a win.
Yeah, so when
I mean,
you can,
yeah, between Pete and Shankle.
yeah, when you can get 6, 7 races, 7 scores, and those guys have a chance to say, hey, you could probably put together a West Coast run, and yeah, you might have to go to Vegas, and Vegas is small and it's a crapshoot, but it's going to be a score, and then you bring back that whole West Coast thing, and then those riders, and in turn, that helps those guys stay in your pro-ams or stay in with your just normal
Right.
state pro-am. And so all that, again, grows organically and brings the entire West Coast back. Because let's be real, for a while, the West Coast was on fucking
yeah,
on a ventilator.
Oh.
Bitch, we
Like-
were on
like-
waivers, man.
Yeah, we needed some fucking help. Like, our best track was either USAA or was Powell or Roseville, but I got no problem saying 5 years ago, Powell was shit, Roseville was shit. I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings, but I think in the later days of Roseville, when they were kind of just floating to the finish line,
Without the previous
yeah,
operators.
there was not a lot going back into the tracks. Things were just kind of spiraling,
Because they
and
had one every year, forever.
Yeah.
From 04 to, what, 12, 13?
Yep.
They had a national every year.
yeah,
And then it kind of just went downhill.
and we were on a
Well, Bruce
lifeline.
pissed them off, and they took it from
Yeah.
him. but he was running his
Well,
mouth.
the big thing is, though, dude, there's no reason why we shouldn't have 3. Down there, SoCal.
Minimal.
Tyler Brown, what he's doing down there in San Diego. Okay, you got Powell. Jordan Miranda over there, Metro.
Yes.
Okay, there's
Chico's coming.
Chico. As soon as Chico gets done,
Alicia's got stuff up there going on. I mean, NorCal, serious, upper NorCal, they got a lot,
there's no reason we shouldn't
the
have
more.
4 nationals.
3 or 4, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
and then you get that, then we gotta throw the West Coast Riders, where it's like, man, dude,
I gotta go to that one.
Santa Clara's got 2. Alright, dude, hey.
I mean, granted, we're not gonna get the count like Kentucky and all that, because the East Coast riders don't want to come. I'm not trying to assume anything, but they're not coming out here because they don't want to get their ass kicked.
Ducking
No,
the call.
that's an honest to goodness.
And it's a fact.
Allegation.
They don't- Some of them do because they're fast. I mean, the ones that know they're on their game, they know what
We
they
get-
can do, they're here.
No.
But all of them, like we go out there, and we all go out
Yeah.
there.
They were, well, shit, look at Rowdy Holzer.
He don't miss a national period. It
Right.
doesn't matter where it's at.
You know.
He'd go to hell and have a national win.
But a lot of them are like, dude, those West Coast experts are a whole different fucking level, dude. don't dick with them.
And the problem is too, is we almost get penalized because the West Coast travels so well. I mean, we've seen it where there will be a West Coast National and an East Coast National, and you'll have 4 or 5 West Coast kids that will fly out to the East Coast one, and you're like, why wouldn't you just drive 3 hours versus flying 12?
Damn right, I did both.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Rick, you're getting on the plane there, son.
Yeah.
Hey, see you in like 4 days.
I mean, where Rick just got back from Canada. You know, I mean, you know, it is what it is. It's just the fact that you can fly. I mean, if you got the money, if you're a holder, don't have it. Hey, he earned it, whatever. But he don't miss a national, and he don't hardly ever lose a national.
Well, the big thing is now too, because Canada, their borders are open, so now they have BMX now in Canada.
Right.
So
Yeah, back
I
on.
mean, yeah, and it especially friggin' helps out the friggin' West Coast friggin' riders.
Yeah,
Which,
absolutely.
hey, dude, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's a good deal. I mean,
Is what
I
it
just
is.
think we lost a lot. I don't know what we did. I mean, then again, our numbers aren't as big as they used to be for California. I mean, no one comes out here for them. I mean, Tulare, we were getting 270, 280, 290, occasional 300s. SoCal did the same thing, but then all of a sudden it dropped like yours 2 years ago, like 206 or 217.
Yeah,
It's
I mean-
like, dude, we're like Tulare. I think the last one they had was like 220 something. It's like 2 hours from SoCal.
Yeah.
How do you guys not showing up to this race? You know? What do you want? It doesn't
Because
get any better.
Tulare's got 25 goddamn rollers, Mike.
Yes, it does.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, it did.
If I want to arm
Ron
pump, I'm
Jones,
gonna
thank
go
you
to the
very
goddamn gym, dude. I ain't gotta go and ride my goddamn bike.
Ron Jones had that. I love going up there.
That was a fun
for Ron.
race. Very
Right,
good.
that, and then we had Visalia. I mean, but we've had plenty. We've lost so many good ones. Sonoma, growing up, Sonoma was the shit.
That was my thing.
I'm sorry, Modesto, I've raced there forever. Stockton, same thing. They're all gone. I mean, we've just lost a lot of tracks, and none of them are not getting replaced. I mean, obviously you stepped up your game at Santa Clara, which is an awesome deal. But now you got to start all over again, which it sucks. I mean, for you, it's in the beginning. I guess it's probably not a bad deal.
Yeah, and I mean that's pretty much all you can do at this point, right?
But you can't complain about it.
Yeah, you got thrown a curveball. You can hit that fucking curveball, or you can strike out.
Exactly.
Yeah, kick your heels.
Start all
and-
over again,
and go away screaming.
you get 3 or 4 bats a game.
Yep.
You just
So we got this. Okay, so Nick, you and the crew, Browns, Sereni's, everybody else in between. I don't know everybody's name, but those are the main ones. You know, Bixler.
Yep.
And everything. So you guys are like, you're good. You're dialed. You know, everything's running like a well-oiled machine. Okay, locomotives are on the rise. Now the state races. The state races are friggin' starting to pipe off at the fucking hundreds.
140 plus.
Okay, you got that. Then now you're knocking on the door with the nationals. You know, then you got your summer camp. Summer, spring.
Yep.
With give
Your rider camp.
it's close, but you did a hell of a job with that, and you use a lot of your local riders.
Yep.
You know, Deacon, Benny, Mateo. You know, and a lot of other riders that not to be rude, I just don't know who they were, but so everything comes in conjunction with that, and everything's just like running good. You know, so how did, like, you know, you're bringing BMX awareness to the locals, okay? And shit, dude, I'm trying to figure out how to put this.
What are you gonna do now? I mean, no spring camp. I mean,
But it's clicking, okay?
Oh, it was, yeah.
And so doing the camps, it's feeding back into the local
Yep.
muddle count.
the new kids coming, bringing
Exactly. So the revenue is like, hey, dude, we're doing this. In the long run, okay, we got new kids in the camp. They're coming out to the track. We got their parents. They're bringing out other parents. They're bringing out other kids. So how was all of that?
So the easiest way that I explain to everybody is it's basically an ecosystem, right? You got your new riders, your experienced riders. Your new riders are going to be the ones spending money, right? If you show up and I welcome you to the track, it's a community day. We do those no cost. Anybody can come out. We just do a bunch of Facebook promotion. You throw $100 at a Facebook ad, it's going to see 10,000 people, right? Like that's what Facebook is good at. They'll get out there. So now you run that community day. You'll get, let's say you get 100 kids. Okay, when those kids come out, like I said earlier, I'm pairing them up with Deegan Brown and Benny Serini and the factory kids and the kids that are going good. And I tell those kids from the jump, this isn't the Deegan and Benny show today. I want you guys out there. Just throw on a Pro Tech helmet. You can come out in your jeans. If you want to throw a jersey on, that's fine. But we're not trying to overwhelm these kids. They don't need to know that your bike costs $5,000. And these are like a lot of the things that you'll hear Donnie talk about and things like that. Like, we just want them to have a good experience today. We send them away with a trophy, and we say, hey, if you had a good time today, if you want to check it out, we run Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. When they come back out, we hope they have another good time. I pair them again up with it, like, so you paired up with those guys, you rode the track. Now they're going to explain how the race portion works. You want to try to do good in this race. You want to try to make the main event, whatever. They have a good time. We meet their parents, their family. We want them to have a good time no matter what. And then on their way out, they may stop by Steve Heath and be like, hey, we think we want to buy some of those pants and a jersey. The coach that week, he had something on the front, and then Steve hopefully is there to say,
Give me one of them right there.
my good friend Ray Hudson at Fly Racing, we're running a blowout.
Who's this guy at?
Yeah, we're doing the whole kit and caboodle, and for a while we were doing that POW. We were doing, it was $150 and it came with your membership. You got 5 clinics with me and 5 free races, and basically it was $65 for your membership or whatever it was, and then we were subsidizing the rest. I was taking no money for the clinics, whatever. We were paying for their 5. They thought they were free races, but we were just paying POW for them, right? No big deal. It all washes, which now the POW will be going crazy. Like, what do you mean you were doing that? But whatever. But once you do that, now that somebody has, like, it's like a coupon book, right? If you give them something and you say, hey, that's worth 5 races, they're gonna hang on to it, right? Like, if I give you this thing and it's worth 5 free races, you're gonna hang on to it. And not only are you gonna hang on to it, we're gonna come back and use those.
Right.
Even if you didn't, your mom's already paid for them. So even if you didn't have the greatest time, like, no, Johnny, get your ass up. Those are 5 free races, and we're going to use them. So you're going to use your 5 free races, hell or high water. Now, me being a TO, on the back end, I know we've got to get everybody to do 5 races because that's where those track points and winning state finals and all that stuff factors in. So it's one hand, and again, that's where it becomes that ecosystem, right? That kid's getting a smoking deal because he's got 5 free races. Steve is happy because he sold $100 in gear. Ray is happy because he just got an order from Steve to send over a couple more cases for all this other gear. And basically, everybody's feeding everybody. Everybody's happy. Pal's making money hand over fist.
Right.
I've got more kids in clinics, which allows me to invest more in the program and buy more cool shit that I want. We're doing more promos, whether it be a girl promo, Young Guns. We're doing whatever we want because there's
Well, I
plenty of
mean,
money.
dude, you put it on the, what was it, 2, 3 years ago? I mean, dude, the Jersey series that you did.
Yep.
You know, and then it was just like, it trickled down after that. It was like, dude, all about it.
Yeah. And it's funny
I mean,
too.
shit, even for an adult, I'm like, man, hell yeah, dude. I mean, I commuted and all that shit and all that stuff, but it's like, hey, dude, Tuesday nights at freaking Santa Clara Palace, dude, this is where I'm going to be, and then that's it.
Well, yeah, and like you're a perfect example. Yeah, maybe you planned on racing 6 times, but once I tell you, hey, we got this youth extra large jersey, will fit perfect on you, midget.
Oh,
You want to get on this
and
bad
people
boy.
a good time.
Then you'll come for that 2 more races. It's
Damn
only going
right
to
I
be
will.
2 more races. You've already done 6, so you're hook, line, and sinker. That's $20 more going to PAL. You're getting a value because you're getting that jersey. And again, that ecosystem just works. You're now making a class 41, 45X, whatever it may be, because now whoever comes out, whether it be a Coover or a Cato, they know they know they're getting a class because, well, I know Rick's going to come out. He's already been doing the jersey.
That's it, dude.
And it just keeps
Got my
steamrolling.
down payment on a goddamn Tesla stuff. Bitch, come on, let's go. But
Stop it.
just bought Twitter for $44 million.
Billion.
Apparently,
Billion.
everybody.
It's a B, not an M.
Billion with a B,
Bill.
not million with an M.
Bill,
Yeah.
Bill
Shaw. What?
Bill.
He's in here
Oh,
too.
Bill Shaw.
He's in here too.
No, hey, everybody that gave Nick parking lot money, he just bought the beer page for $1,200.
Fresh off the presses.
Hey, funniest shit ever. All the shit they were throwing Nick under the bus about. I'd roll into Santa Clara for the National. He's at the bottom of the damn road with a wad of money in his hand, said, they're accusing me of embezzling and they give me this job. And I laughed so freaking hard. I think that bush over there keeps moving, but I'm not positive. I'm just like, dude, right, you're not doing anything wrong. They just want more money.
You would have thought he would have had like a Charlie Chicken mustache or something.
No, hell
Jesus
no.
Christ.
He had a Supercross shirt on, no hat on, with a handful of money. I'm like, well, I gotta give you
Did
my
a big
money.
ass smile.
Well,
on his
I mean,
face.
Apparently you're a bad guy, from what I hear,
Hey.
or what I read.
We could have called Justin Tompkins and Giffy, dude. We could have been like the Blues Brothers over there in a freaking X'd out freaking cop car with a nun in the back.
Hey, there's one in the front yard. We can start,
I know a guy.
we can start right now, bro.
Some bitch. Let's
Yep,
go.
on a mission from God.
Hey, you see who's sponsoring the show there, Nick? Got your bobblehead on
Atta
it.
boy, man. Supercross.
Yeah, Big Bill, dude. Big Bill, he's got a hefty bill coming after tonight. I tell you that right now. Let's see.
Contract negotiations.
Oh, yeah. I thought Melissa was gonna like chime in and be like, "Hey, dude, what do you guys want? You want some like crab legs or whatever?" I'd be like, "Nah, cool, no problem, Melissa." Yeah.
Send me the swag box.
Look at Foley.
Yeah,
Shit.
send us a bed. We'll put it back here.
Shit is what it is. You know, Big Bill, he's out in SoCal, dude. They probably got like a triple pointer going on freaking tomorrow or whatever.
Well, yeah, they can accuse anybody that wants to. There's no proof, no evidence. It's just words. It is what it is. And if he was guilty, he'd probably already be in jail. Again.
Oh, there you go. She chimed
Look
in.
for that.
Trying to get to
What's up, Melissa?
Thank God,
Girl,
we're hungry.
let's go,
We
girl.
hungry.
Some bitch. Shit, dude. It's been a hell of a Saturday night right now. Alright. So everything's cool. Everything's, dude, hey, dude, we're running this. We got the state races. We got the nationals. This, that, the other. Alright. Let's start ramping up the attendance, the families, the kids. Like, did you anticipate for that, or was it just something like, oh shit, dude, BMX is like taking off right now?
Yeah, no, I mean, we could see it once COVID hit. I mean, and that was one of the things that, and I don't think we get a lot of credit for, but I mean, it was no small feat to get the track back open. It was paperwork, but it was one of those things is like, the writing was on the wall. If every kid is stuck at home,
Right.
but everybody wants to ride, right? And yeah, you're protective parents who they ain't sending their kid out. Because if you remember when COVID first came out, everybody was like, nobody wanted to be near anybody. It was like gloves at the grocery store. Even like people were crazy protective. And sure,
You jumped ahead on my shit.
Stop it.
Okay.
Go ahead, just
No.
go ahead, Dick.
No, carry on, Nick.
It's great to fuck him up. It makes the show better.
I swear to fucking God.
got him on ice
If
skates. now.
goddamn Brian
Everybody-
Pulley,
Right.
if Brian Pulley could microwave my goddamn steak with mushrooms, I swear to Christ.
Oh.
Yeah, and so like for us, it was like, listen, if we can be the first one to get back to guns, right? If you're telling me all those soccer kids are stuck at home, they got nothing to do. Those travel ball kids for baseball, whatever, lacrosse, all these kooky sports that are super popular in the Bay Area.
The
If
ones
you-
that you're funding.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
those-
all those same people. If we can be the first ones to be open and say, hey, this is what we're doing, the track's open, even if it's limited, there's smaller amounts, whatever the case may be. If we can be the first one back to guns, we're the only show in town.
Right.
You got, if you want your kid to be active, even if that kid's not into BMX, but they can get out and go exercise,
Right.
we're the only thing going. And it worked to a T. We got open. It was a little kooky, of course, and I mean, and not just shout out to us, but shout out to all the tracks who were doing all these kooky schedules. You were doing novices one day, inners the other day. Stay in your car.
Didn't you have a state qualifier like that?
Yeah, we had. Well,
Yeah,
we did.
yeah,
we did
yeah,
state
like that.
finals like that.
Yeah,
with
State
finals
finals,
like
that's
that.
right. Saturday.
Yeah,
Sunday.
dude,
Right.
they had block
Friday,
schedules.
Which is
Friday,
Unheard
Saturday,
of.
and Sunday.
Yeah, and it was just one of those. Yeah,
you made it work though.
yeah. Everybody might not love it, but here's the shit sandwich we were given, right?
Right.
Like we can cancel it and say no state finals, but those kids have worked hard, right?
Now, here's the box of the thing, is that Tyler Brown over there in San Diego, he still has to run
Yep.
friggin' block scheduling
Because
because
they don't have parking.
they ain't got no room,
Yep.
Right.
you know? But then you got, okay, Nick and company, it's like, hey, dude, this is what we got, boom, 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 boom. The first year of COVID or whatever, made it happen for state finals.
Yep.
Because what was it? It was a Friday, Saturday split, right?
I want to say it might even have been Friday, Saturday, or Saturday.
Friday was practice, or
Yeah. We did like experts and cruisers on Sunday, and the thought process was your cruisers and your experts. If somebody's riding two
Right.
bikes, typically they're
right, as long as
experts.
you had one kid, it was great.
Yeah.
If you had 2 kids.
Yeah,
you got
unfortunately for
Yeah.
some, it's like you had a kid that started novice, you were stuck there.
Yeah,
either
right.
way.
You're there for the whole thing.
Well, no, hey, but that's the thing, dude. A lot of people across the states don't understand the shit that like we had to go through.
Yeah, the hoops to jump through.
I mean, shit, I still gotta go.
It was
through
crazy.
I still gotta go through that crap right now for work. You know.
You don't quit.
So I tell you what, dude, fucking Nick can get me on the goddamn payroll.
Apparently he's making.
Yeah, there's an open spot.
He just bought the beer page for 1.27 freaking thousand.
I think you might have to
Fuck,
subtract
we
a
can't
couple
fucking
zeros.
nothing. I swear to God. Okay,
Holy
stable
must be
with
hard.
new riders, families, with the help of seasonal local riders. Okay, that was for your camps. Okay, so everything's good. You know, you and the crew, state finals come up, finally end up with, I mean, a long, atrocious friggin' battle between
that's
Santa
a big
Clara.
word. You hear
That's all
that?
you breaks out
Thunder
to.
midget?
Wow. Hey,
That word's longer than he is tall.
that cost you a
Looked it
fucking
up in
3 pack of
dictionary
fucking
earlier
Bud
today.
Lights right
Break
there.
out the thesaurus.
Okay.
Exactly.
Damn right, dude. Hey, dude.
Thesaurus. Thesaurus.
Hey,
He's got a list.
Hey, bring me where the hell I'm at right now.
Sorry, Rick.
Okay. So,
I couldn't pass that up.
yeah, real Saturday night.
Oh, every night with you is great, bro. It's all fun.
So you finally freaking go and the battle between Santa Clara Pal and Oak Creek just comes to an end. Okay?
Temporarily.
The state finals are at Santa Clara Pal.
It's a short
Holy
load.
shit, dude.
More?
Give it to him.
What?
No, he's gonna
Like-
need it. Now he's gonna
I
drink
mean, dude, I'm talking about accomplishments,
Accomplishments.
Nick.
There's-
All the improvements that you've done, and then bam, boom, you're number one.
Well, and here's the thing and again, I think it gets lost in just the oversight of what goes on is, not only did you become number one in NorCal, but that was the same year we knocked off Rum River for number one in the country out of the whole thing. And now as people are kind of starting to learn, like, wait, you did that and you don't even control your own revenue?
Right.
Like, that promo, all those things could have been happening years before. How many
Right.
times did you come in top 5, had Pal or whomever, I guess we can't say names these days, but had they just made those adjustments and made that sooner, how much quicker would you have been if somebody was doing what I was doing 15 years ago
Mm-hmm.
and all the tracks got pushed to be better to go? Then to me, we have a Chula Vista type, we have a Black Mountain type track. So for me, what we've done so much with so little for so long that now it doesn't really faze me. If we get nixed, I'm now confident that we can do anything with nothing. So to me, it's like, yeah, if you can bait, like, yeah, if the PAL thing doesn't work out and you guys can control your own revenue, or USA BMX controls the revenue, and then you just get it from them, I already know that USA BMX is committed because they understand it. They don't have other programs to fund, like, they're gonna be just zeroed in on laser focus on, we want you to go ahead and work on this and keep building this. So for us, it's a godsend at this point. If you can even just get a portion of that revenue, you've been giving up 100% of it the whole time. Now if you can get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50%, the things you can do, like, mind blowing. And the improvements you can make, right? Like right now it would sound crazy to be like, oh, Pal's gonna pay the parking lot. Well, if that 200 grand that was previously going to soccer or whatever, wherever, a different place to go, I'm paving that parking lot next weekend. I'm financing it and I'm putting it on a payment plan because the business model is already proven. The only problem you have now is somebody else is fighting you for that money. And fighting a pretty dirty, shitty fight, honestly.
Dave's, let's fight.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Hang on.
I'm in. Got nothing better to do.
It's Saturday night, dude. Hang on. I mean, shit. Okay, so everything's going good. You know, motos are up. You got the state races. You got the freaking nationals and everything, and then I mean it went for what 2 years, a little bit over, maybe close to 3.
Yeah.
When like getting everything established.
Yep.
Okay, as far as the track, you know, your core group,
Yep.
and everything, getting everything freaking dialed up to, let's fast forward to this year, okay,
Yep.
2 months ago. Numbers are up. I mean, locals are freaking banging, dude.
Yep.
You're on the Friday, you're on the Sunday, you're on the Tuesday. You know, everything's good to go, and shit. And then coming up to the national, everything, and then kind of the breaks, kind of. Yeah, no, yeah, they skirt.
So what people don't know is behind the scenes, this had already been going on since November. So and this
No, November of last year.
yeah. So
Even we were at Grams.
even going back a little further, and what a lot of people don't know is our national, and this is probably saying too much. I won't say the track that national was headed to because I don't know if they want their business out there. But I will say that the national we hosted was already awarded to another track in Northern California. They had some issues with their land lease. They weren't sure if they could hold it. USA BMX called me and was like, "Can you take this national? We know you can take it on short notice, not a problem. Can you take it?" I told them in, I believe it was November or December, like, "Listen, I'll take the national, but I want you guys to know Pal is not in a good spot right now. Like, we're going back and forth for little things, big things. They're just being kind of a pain in the ass. I wouldn't say it's a good idea to take that national, but like, I took it on the caveat of it's an idea, and I'm not asking you for it, but if you need a
Right.
place, I can make it happen for you. Oh no, Nick, you'll work it out. Just keep your head down. You know, it's always kind of been rough to go with them. It'll be fine." So we already knew in November, and we were already dealing with a lot of stuff in November, and I'm going to use this as a perfect chance. This might be going a little bit ahead.
Sorry, Bill Ryan is picking up the tab for this one.
There you go. So in November, right, we had gotten, there's a local team name out, but people will know who it is, so I don't feel like I'm throwing them under the bus or anything. There was a local team that wanted to bring in Connor Fields for a camp, clinic or camp or whatever. We had already been told no more camps, clinics. We already knew they were coming after them in a sense. Like, the writing was already on the wall. So me knowing what I know, the last thing I'm gonna do is put, and we get the same kind of stuff from Nick Long hits us up, should be like everybody who's kind
Right.
of on the tour of doing camps. And we always just kind of deflect them because working with pals is kind of a problem. It just is what it is. And so we kindly were like, yeah, it's probably not going to work out. Pals kind of up our ass about some things. Like, it's just, and we play buffer, right? I don't tell them exactly what the problem is, but I just try to kind of, I don't want to throw Pal under the bus. I don't want to say Connor's not good enough or your team bring him in. Like, I just try to be that buffer, right? Like, yeah, it's just not going to work. No.
To USA Bmx.
No, to the local team that had the idea to bring them in.
okay.
Because there were some parents that were like, "We'll pay for it, we just want you to supply the track." And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't really work like that. Like, they're already sniffing around and some accusations were already out there.
Right.
So I didn't want to get him caught up in the crossfire, right?
Yeah.
That team took it super personal that Nick was saying Connor Fields wasn't coming to his track. Period. Those are his riders, and it's like, yeah, I can't really fight you on that because to explain that, now I got to throw Pal under the bus. And this is Pal, mind you, 6 months ago, things are somewhat copacetic, right? I'm not trying to rock that boat. It's not the greatest boat, but it's floating, right?
Right.
And so, in the sense of that, you get thrown under the bus, you lose that relationship, and this is a team that I had gone bent over backwards, done plenty of good things for, and now that whole team, by way of that interaction, fuck that guy, Nick.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's because everybody's so sensitive. They
Yeah.
take shit way too personal. Dude, look at the shit that's written down. I mean,
Yeah.
the writing that you, whatever.
And can you imagine right now, like with my name being thrown in the bus, can you imagine if you had Donnie's name tagged in those same accusations or Connor Fields' names tagged?
You don't want that.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm not going to throw
it's
him
not
under the
worth
bus.
it. Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah,
not
it's
worth
not.
it one
Oh,
bit.
if it was Donnie, dude, they would have like an infantry, dude. They'd be like knocking at the gate right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
So it
so
was James, yes, it was a hack shack, it was us. It was us. You know.
and so to get back to what you were saying, so things are going.
Yeah, that's what it seemed next.
The writing's already on the wall in November. We had made them an offer in November, like, listen, this is not working. The bills are still not getting paid. So if you guys remember, we closed for a rebuild.
Right.
That was the first time we'd ever had to close for a rebuild because I'm a stickler. We do our rebuilds December 15th to the 31st.
Right.
I don't care if we gotta work our ass off 8 hours a day to get it done. We get it done, we don't miss any racing.
That's the season
Yeah.
ending. Yeah.
So we had a rebuild approved on the books, ready to go. They came in last minute, we're like, you can't do a rebuild, we gotta do some electrical, you don't have money for a rebuild. First of all, don't tell me we don't have money for a rebuild. The program grosses $250,000 a year. Don't tell me we don't have. So we get in this big argument. They push out the builder, Lance. I don't got a problem throwing him under the bus because we're good friends. They bump that out. So now Lance is like, okay, well if they're bumping out, they're gonna have to pay me my rebook fee because I slated that time out. If they don't want to do it, that's fine. Here's the penalty price. You can pay it or not.
It makes sense.
So a couple days, so they end up booking that. I talked to Lance. I'm like, hey, I got them to work it out. Can you get us in after? Yeah, I can move some things around. And again, only because it's you. Like, I'll do you a favor. You guys have always stuck with me for your rebuilds. You've made it work out good, blah, blah. So we get that worked out. We work night and day to get done for the qualifier because, mind you, we thought we were going to have 2 weeks to get dialed in.
Right.
Extra set of glue and that lovely triple that's eating people up.
Oh man, God, love
in-
that
yeah.
goddamn triple.
In our opinion, we were gonna have 2
Some
weeks.
bitch, let's go, baby.
We were gonna have 2 weeks to say, yeah, that triple don't work. Yeah, get the skid steer over here. Let's mellow it out. We thought we were gonna have plenty of time, but these kooks had eaten up that time arguing about, oh, they want to do some electrical work and bumping it out or whatever. So we finally get it done. We roll all the way up to that state qualifier. We set the record for the biggest state qualifier in existence. I'm texting down there to Bakersfield. How many riders did you guys? They had to help.
Shit was big.
Yeah, April had the biggest record, so I'm texting her as like the pre-signs are coming through. I'm like, we
No,
got
it
you.
was big.
I think we got you.
185?
Yeah, something like that. I think it was 186 motos, a little over 1,000 riders, whatever it was. So we're riding that wave, right? We're happy as can be, We get through that weekend, we have one more meeting with Pal, and the dude is like, you're stealing. Just out of left field, you're stealing. What do you mean I'm stealing?
Shit. Alright, hold on.
Yeah, what are you talking about I'm stealing? Well, there's a lot of cash going on here, and you could be stealing.
Okay, so,
Wow. That's like,
well, shit, okay,
we're at your ass.
yeah,
Yeah.
Comment.
No setup, no
we're at the-
no little massage first. Just,
No
yeah,
reach
I
around.
need a little
No
massage.
move, no nothing, right? Hey,
I-
we're fucking you, bro.
don't
Yeah.
sweet talk me, don't buy me
Don't
dinner.
F with Thunder, dude. I
Yeah.
swear to Christ right now, dude. You see what happened to freaking Grindle, dude? Freaking took Tyler's freaking Cadillac converter.
Yeah.
I tell you what, dude. Hey, race is race.
Rangers, they can't drive without a Cadillac converter, though.
That bitch, baby, come on.
I've done it to a couple people. Jason Silva.
Where the fuck is fucking?
I don't know, he said he was coming with you, Nick. You already told me yesterday.
He wasn't at the track. I passed by the
This
track.
guy.
No, he only goes on track from 10 to 12.
Okay, so shit, dude. All right, we're all kinds of wampus. Okay, so everything's like hunky dory. All right, you talk about the national, the rebuild, and everything that's got to go on with Lance and all that shit. Okay, the day comes, and then here we go. COVID hits.
Oh wait, we're going backwards now?
Yeah, we're going backwards, right?
Boy,
It's up low.
because, well, shit, dude, you like jumped my freaking nose.
No, he was just ahead of you, that's all.
He is.
You're too slow.
Well, it's a
That's
good,
why you're intermediate.
It's
Oh,
a-
wait, you're expert.
it's a good thing with all the money he embezzled from fucking parking lot, fucking $20 a
Dude, you said that out loud?
that he bought the beer show.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
so we're
Three
we're-
times makes it true.
Yeah, hey, we're semi-sponsored by Bill Ryan.
Candy, what was it,
Okay.
Candyman?
Yeah.
No, Beetlejuice, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if shit wasn't going down in Florida, dude, I'd be like, hey Sawyer, dude, we got shit going down, dude. Hey, red alert.
The last thing is you got options right now.
So everything's going hunky dory, and then COVID happens. Okay, you come up, you and your crew, amongst, I want to say the only other track that like probably followed your lead would be local. But locally, you came up with a COVID plan instantaneously.
Yeah. And it was sink or swim, right? You've got some momentum. You can sit on the bench and watch it all play out and see how it happens. Aggressive and keep trying to build it, keep trying to grow the program, keep it going. And like I said, just the organic growth of just pushing through it. I remember we did beginner racing league with masks. And it was like, yeah, it was weird, but you still exposed whatever, 50, 60 kids, they still came out. And for a lot of people, that was actually better because then they were coming out, they were only seeing the same 50 or 60 kids. So if you're a parent who's kind of being super protective, at least you're knowing the same 50 or 60, so you're in that bubble of the same people or whatever. So there was definitely a sense of urgency to get back open, get back to it, and kind of just try to get back to normal. And I mean, we didn't know it was going to last for 2 years, but it was like,
Nobody did.
Yeah, if this only lasts for 6 weeks, let's get back on it. You know, like you don't want to be just kind of stuck in a holding pattern.
Well, the big thing is that it was between you over there, Santa Clara, and then Lemoore. And then it went to Oak Creek. You know,
Because everyone shut down for a while.
that was it. You know, and
And
it
did close it, I mean, they're never done.
well, because they didn't want to put forth the fucking effort.
I'm not just saying never closed down. I'm not.
You know.
I'm not throwing it
Well,
Reeky was running too.
So, hey, give me your notepad. I was told to take it away.
But you came up with it with your group, like instantaneous.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
And
no
with,
problem, dude. We got this.
Yeah.
I put marks out here. We got staging figured out. We got the starting of this. We got the shoots over here. Every other freaking shoot. No problem. Bang, boom, boom. And we're done. We're back to freaking local racing.
And the one good thing to come out of COVID, and mind you, just as a cliff note, the entire COVID protocol, the 15-page application, the compliance, absolutely no help from the backing PAL executive board, fully hands off. Their statement was, PAL shutting down all programs, see you when we see you.
Right.
Well, yeah. Well, but the big thing was too, is that there was a handful of tracks I think that reached out to you too.
Yeah, and literally I was sending
but then
that
there
same
was-
13 page.
Right? And there were then
How do you do it?
there was some that reached out to you and didn't do it.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it is when you send that to somebody, people think like, oh, you just dumb lucked into your situation and you just took over PAL and it happened to get big at the time and you just happened to be the guy. Like, no. We did a lot of work. All that stuff, plotted, planned, strategized, and executed. Like, we did not just fall into 40 moto locals and all that stuff.
Oh God, shit! No way, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you look at it historically, then somebody else would have dumb lucked into it. You know, like I'm not that lucky. But we would send, and same thing with April. I worked with her. I mean, we would go every week. She'd have another appeal to their board and say, hey, this is what they're doing up north. What can we do? This is what works for them. They'd be like, no, we don't like this. We don't like this. She would come back to me and be like, hey, can you rewrite this? Can you do this? And I'm literally rewriting stuff for her. I'm not seeing anything of what their program's actually doing. But for me, yeah, just keep throwing things at the wall. Eventually, you're going to say the right things that council, whatever, whoever's making that health director in that area, maybe you have the right words that, okay, now you can open. And I don't know that mine's helped her to finally get it done. I would think that it somewhat helped, but you never know. Like, maybe it just kept her going and working after it, and eventually Bakersfield got back open, and then they were the first one in that area, like, okay, well, Bakersfield opened, so now they're booming, you know, like now they're experiencing that wave too.
That was kind of like the whole thing. It was like, okay, we got Santa Clara, you know, Metro's opening up, and then here we go, Lemoore's opening up, and then it was like, everything's cool. Oh, cool. Oak Creek's up.
Reeky was up.
We got a good, like, solid
Yep.
core as far as like local shit. You know, because I mean, what? It was before the state races started, when all this shit started happening and everything, and everybody was like, "All right, cool." You know, they're on board.
Yeah.
You know, to figure it out, to keep the riders going on, to keep the local. It's like, okay, dude, we're good. We're fucking all fine and dandy. All this shit, and it's like, all right, good. You know, let's get back to racing.
Okay, big question,
Shit
Nick.
like that.
Where are we going from here?
Oh,
Going backwards to the COVID thing, people are not sure what we're doing, but they want to know where we're going from here.
Oh, wait,
Everybody wants to know.
wait, hold on, wait. Wait.
You're pissing people off.
I know.
I know.
You need to refill
Because
it.
everything's like,
Rick's got a checklist.
Oh yeah, he writes it, but he don't always write it in order. That's the bad thing.
I know, and we jumped over
The
it. Like,
COVID thing, going back to the COVID thing, everybody's
The COVID
okay,
thing,
put a step forward, one step back.
Okay, so here we go. What, March? State race.
Yes,
Banger state race.
yes. What, 160?
Then everything gets shut down.
And we have so we finished that state race. We've got roughly a month before the national. We'd already put notice telling the POW board we're out. You're gonna call us thieves, money's missing, mismanagement, whatever BS you want to spray out there. Then we just won't run. Like, that's fine. If you're gonna say I'm taking money, but you don't have a register, receipts, you don't have anything to clean up the financial aspect, but you expect me to stay in the hot seat and do what I know has gotten us there, well, I'm just not going to continue to do that. So figure it out. USA BMX plans on having a national here. You're going to have to figure that out too. But just to show you that I will step away, so I'll step away. And with that stepping away, my crew steps away too. We're musketeers, right? One for all for one. Nobody's going to stay behind.
I tell you
No
what,
sanction?
Figure it out on your own.
I
So-
definitely get it.
Yeah,
So-
250,000 to zero is a big change in your profits.
And that's the thing, because there's been so many years invested with Nick and his crew.
Well,
where
they
it's
figured
like,
it out. They got it going on.
You're gonna go and be like, I don't think this is fucking happening, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, all right, cool. Hey, Marissa,
We're done.
Kim,
Yeah. The
hey,
thing is,
we're on hold right now.
how do you not see the money you're getting? Is that not enough? I mean, like I said, from the very beginning, the first thing I said was greed. That's what shut Santa Clara down. That's what it comes down to. Greed. They want more. They think he's hosing them. Well, you get $250,000 a year
It's
for doing nothing but supplying a piece of property.
That,
You don't
that,
work
you're
on
not, that you're not maintaining.
Right.
That you're not doing the weeds. You're not even getting a bill for the weed killer.
Right.
You know, like you're literally
Just
getting statements.
get a check.
Money's coming in.
Get a
Money's
check.
coming
Love
in.
it.
right.
Like being like a slum.
Yeah. So you get a kick-ass state race, okay,
Always an asshole.
and then shit closes up for
Did you read that?
what?
So we closed for
Like
about
4 weeks.
yeah, we closed for about
Whatever.
a week or two.
And then you got
He's funny.
the national is like knocking on your
Yeah,
door.
now the
That's right.
national is bearing down. USA is getting calls. Hey, if that local track doesn't seem to be running locals, we're about to book these flights for the national. We're being a little gun shy booking flights for the nationals because they're not running. Then what are we doing here?
Right.
So I'm telling USA, you better call Rick and Amanda and see if they got some space down there.
Better see what's going on up
Yeah.
there in Roseville.
Yeah, I've got April down at Metro. Like, yo, I'll give you 10 grand. Move that race down here, and I can joke about that because I don't think she cares, right? She's
No,
a pretty straight shooter.
Right.
And let's be
are
real.
good folks on the show.
Well, they had their race at Lemoore 3 years ago.
Yeah, like people
No, they
know there's a lot of money that comes with hosting those big events.
Right.
So if I throw you 10 because I know I'm going to get 30, that's a smart business move. That you're still plus 20, right?
Right.
So all this stuff's going on. So I'm telling USA BMX like, yo, you guys better get it figured out. So they get a hold of Pal and say, listen, why don't we go ahead and get the crew back in there? Let's get this running. Let's get this national done. We will give you guys $2 per rider per event, and we will pay every single bill that's accumulated, lights, awards. glue for the track, whatever. You guys will be out of pocket nothing, and you get $2 per rider per event.
Wow.
Anybody who shows up there, you're gonna get two of those dollars.
Yeah.
What was the word you've been using?
Greed.
Greed.
He's big.
Hal comes back and says, we'll do that, but we want $5 a rider. Now, here's the problem with $5 a rider.
See what you did, Mike?
Yeah.
Way to fucking go,
I'm
dude.
telling the truth. That's all I'm
Yeah.
trying to do, bro.
Fucking dickweed, dude.
The problem,
Yeah, I haven't called words.
Talk to me, Nick.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
the problem with $5 a rider is your awards cost about $4.80 per rider. So, if I take in, let's say we get a total points race, right? That total points race, 3 of your kids, or the 3 riders paid $10 each, $30, right?
15 for awards.
So 15 already went to awards, and now 15 is going to PAL, because they just said we want $5 per
They
rider.
made 60 cents.
So now USA BMX is stuck holding the bag for everything, because the lights still got to be paid, the print toner, the glue, the whatever. So now you have to get to these scenarios where you need multiple. Now mind you, that $5 a rider also included Striders. Striders only pay $5. So losing $5 on every single Strider rider, because they paid $5 and we trophy 3, so you're -5 on those. So if your Strider program's rocking and rolling, you get 20 kids to show up, you're like,
You just lost a lot of money.
we're -$100 and we ain't go Strider rack yet. So the $5 wasn't sustainable. I think, in my opinion, the powers that be knew, you know, if this whole thing goes away, we need to hit them right now. Let's get as much money as we can. So, and again, this may be too much information, but I think it's already out there anyway.
No, it's
awesome.
Nick.
Yeah,
No,
USA BMX
other
in that
track operators
in that
appreciate
couple
this.
weeks loses a little over $8,000 on the whole thing. Who makes a little over 8,000?
No.
Pal in the pocket. Never lifted a finger, never did anything, made 8,000. USA BMX lost 8,000. All my crew is still there, hard, we're making it happen, we're getting ready for the national, all that. So the losing crew is USA, and then us in our vested time, the only one who turned a profit is PAL. The national happens, and a couple days prior to the national, and again, this is every track negotiates what their payment is for a national. I won't say the exact number, but it ain't a lot of thousands, I'll put it that way. But the track does get the parking and the snack bar, that's where you make your money with.
No, I mean, dude, you bought the beer page.
$8,215 pal guy.
Between him and Bill Ryan, they bought the beer page. I mean,
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
They
And
didn't
then-
know it, but they did.
The national occurs, or a week before the national, the powers that be tell PAL, or they tell USA BMX, yeah, we're not okay with your normal, we want $10,000 for you to host the national here.
Which usually you pay USA
Exactly.
to have a national.
So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you do.
So if you're
Oh,
USA
I know.
BMX, what are you gonna do? You can't move a national in 2 weeks' time, that's impossible.
No, yeah. That shit ain't
Yeah,
happening.
you're bent over. You got no choice whatsoever.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, so clearly you're expecting, so now if you're the powers that be, you're +8 for the month of March, and now you
Plus
just
10.
went +10 again. So now you're +18, and you've done not
Absolutely
lifted up a
nothing.
finger.
Yeah.
Supplied a piece of property.
Extort.
Keyword, greed again. And you now are gonna tell that same sanction, like, no, just do business with us. We do square business.
Yeah, right.
And you
can
wonder,
book it for 18,000.
and then you just told them that their #1 crew is stealing and embezzling and all this shit, and they're like, we've done business with you for 2 weeks. We're out 18,000, and we've got a bitter taste in our mouth.
Hello.
And you're wondering why they're willing to pull the sanction?
So, but, okay.
It's not.
No, not
Nobody,
at all.
nobody I would be in business with. Nobody I would want to call
Yeah.
my #1 track.
Alright, the rest of the notes are fucking out the window.
Thank you.
Right now.
As long as they don't go backward, we're good.
Yeah. So, okay, everything's
Wow, 18 grand in 2 weeks.
everything's freaking.
So we're gonna have a new track from Nick here before long. He's not sure where we're at yet.
Hey, wait, hold on.
No, you said go out the window.
Hold on. Dude, everything's so jumbled up right now. Okay.
I
So-
confused him. I'm sorry, guys. I confused him. My bad.
Everything's out the window.
Brain fart.
Okay. So here we go. We're at the Sunday for the state race. Back in
Wait, now we're going
March.
backwards
We're going
again?
backwards
Yeah,
again.
no, well, because
Fired. Oh wait, it's your show.
we got
I need
touch
to
base.
August.
It's like
He must have a hell of a good point back in
Hey,
March
Chris, always
somewhere.
think about it. Show what it is.
well, no, because everything's. I mean, okay. So I'm looking from the rider parent standpoint. Dude, just had a hell of a national. This, that, boom, boom, boom. Got done. I got little Timmy and Jenny. They're in bed, and it's like, get on Facebook because
You're in jail. How can you not Facebook?
I'm a social media freaking freak. Whoa,
Hooker.
hold on, dude. We just got done, and what the hell's going on with our pal?
Yep.
So what in the freaking hell ended up happening after that state weekend to raise eyebrows and throw a red flag
Too many people.
Yeah, so
on everything?
So after the state final or state qualifier, what they said, we'll get you through the state qualifier. You're accusing us of stealing, money's off, whatever, we'll get you through the state qualifier. And I felt bad because my allegiance to the riders is I'll get you the state qualifier. You deserve that, it's your local track, that one's on me. But at that point, sorry USA, I forewarned you that that national was sketchy, it was gonna be a dice roll. I've done all I can. I'm done. But once you're calling me a thief outright, you're saying it in front of parents, you're whispering it, because a lot of it, it's essentially just character assassination. You've not come to me and said, Nick, we think you're stealing, but you're saying it to Mr. whatever, Getsky or
With
Stanford.
everybody.
Yeah, you're totally comfortable whispering it to everybody, but you won't come and say, hey, we think you got sticky fingers. Or we had some questions about this camp or this clinic, and we just want to know what you're understanding it. Mm-hmm. You're comfortable saying the smoke to everybody, but you don't want to show the fire.
Right.
So at that point, I'm walking. Like it's
Right.
not that big of a deal to me.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if you think I'm surviving off that, well, all right, I'll show you. I'll shut it down cold turkey right now, and my mortgage is still paid. You know.
That point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't accuse it and not ask.
Yeah.
You know, come to me.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
If you want to talk about me, you should at least have the respect to come talk to me.
On the balls.
Especially after for the past 5 years, I brought you hundreds of thousands, and when you start to compound that, millions of dollars, and you've not lifted a finger for me. But you can't come ask me about something.
What was it? You brought in, 220 something thousand in
Yep.
local revenue?
In just 2021 alone, just local single point races.
1 year.
Yeah. Like I
One
said.
fucking year.
Right. And that's not enough.
Yeah.
But you're stealing. Dude, soccer gave you 50 grand. Who's stealing? It ain't Nick, guys.
So.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Jeff, Anna, stop it.
In the mix of all this turmoil from that state weekend, you got the national coming up. Okay, so what was it where, like, Shannon Gillette, Chris Luna, or whoever was like, Nick, can your crew make this fucking national happen? Because I understand you're like in the mix of all the bullshit, but we already have this freaking posted. There's people that already have hotel rooms. There's this.
Airline flights.
You know how it is.
Everything.
Where can you make this fucking happen?
Well, at that point, it was out of my hands, and that's a lot of the thing that people now, they'll even say like, oh, you got to get it fixed, and I'm like, dude, at this point, I'm just a spectator watching the shit play out like you.
Here,
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
bucks for park.
Once you've said, hey, Nick is relieved, he needs to get his shit out of the office, yo, I'm just a normal spectator
Right.
like anybody else.
I'll collect money for you, but I'm
Yeah,
out of here.
I'll volunteer for you, but at this point, I am mentally checked out. Yeah.
I'm about to buy this freaking podcast as a son of a bitch right now.
Yeah, and so and that was the thing, and like I said, it's good that we have that relationship with them because it's just nature of the beast, right? When you become, I would say, venturing out to say even just a top 10 or even top 15 track, when you're doing the volume that we do, you're gonna talk with John David a little bit more. You're gonna talk with Cody, Chris, all those people. So now like Powell will try to spin it like, oh, those guys are in his pocket and he grew up with them, and I'm like, first of all, you guys are idiots. Those guys live in Arizona. I grew up in the Bay Area. Like, you're so stupid, but whatever.
Arizona.
But it's like you can't crucify me for the same reasons that we even got those opportunities anyway. Because if I didn't know those guys, then it's just Joe Blow calling saying, hey, I want a national, and they're like, yeah, give them the same old line. It costs you 15 grand RFP, and maybe we can do something for you.
Yeah.
So it's like in senses like that, it's like the reason that we get those opportunities is because we know those people and because we're in good favor there. But then later on, you're trying to say, oh, they're using those guys against us. It's like, no, you guys ruined a good thing because you chose to bend them over for an extra 10 grand, and you forced them into a shitty deal at $5 a rider, which they knew wasn't sustainable, but they chalk it up to, well, we just got to lose this money so we can still keep this national on board. So, and when you play hardball like that, I don't feel bad when they get out of being under your thumb, right? And they're like, yeah, fuck off. Well, I don't want to work with you anymore. You know, like, it just is what it is. Like, nobody's gonna get back in bed with them. Like, it just is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, ain't no way. One.
I mean, with USA BMX don't want to sanction their shit. I mean, and they're about making money. That's what they do. And they don't want nothing to do with you. You screw the pooch.
Yeah.
Well, no. Okay, so now let's go into the last set of notes.
Thank God.
So.
I'm sorry. I was talking to Nick. Sorry. My bad.
So, okay, national happens. Dude, great for
Great national. It was fun. It was
great turnout. I mean,
Awesome
there's like teams are out there, canopies. You know,
Bobby did well.
The
I mean,
parking and everything is like on a freaking clip. And then the Monday comes, thing is shut down.
Yeah, and I thought a lot of people just assumed that we would just pick it up and keep running with it. I knew that wasn't happening, not beyond a shadow of a doubt, and I knew the USA BMX contract was through Sunday afternoon. Now, here's where, and this is where I'll say to my crew, not only did we know we were going to be done, but we stayed out there that day and went back out the next day to still run trash. To still run trash because it needed to be done, knowing good and damn well we were done there.
Right.
Let them pick up their own shit.
Yeah, but you don't just leave it that way, right? You still be classy, tip your cap on the way out, leave it as good as when you got it, right?
Yeah.
But it's like one of those things, and Pal just does not get it. Like, you think that other people are going to have that commitment? As a practice track, people are going to come out and put in the extra time.
But no insurance on top of that, because it's my period.
Yeah.
Well, Jake Russell said he's got 3 Santa Clara Pound National stickers he wants to sell.
Shout out to Jake. I raced him for a long time. And another thing, I was good with the track closing because Robbie picked up a win, so it burned the place down after that.
This guy right here?
It don't matter now. He don't matter for us.
Gosh.
So it's kind of
Jesus Christ. Oh, son of a bitch.
You know, I mean, he could have lost. It would not right now. Would have been no big deal.
God damn. I tell you what, some bitch, you know what?
Still love you guys.
Just bite you in the ass.
Yeah, you know, you take a guy in under your wing and look what happens.
Oh shit.
So you
I
go.
wish you was Brian. You would admit it.
So
I think he was talking.
everything. You go through the whole mumbo jumbo and all that shit, and then
Can I ask my question now?
what?
Where do we go from here?
So
Here we go.
I am asking. I mean, that's what every inquiring minds want to know.
Well,
where are we going from here?
Because here
We've heard all the bullshit. We
Here
want
goes
shit.
my question.
That means no, I can't ask mine.
With all the bullshit that has happened literally in the past 2
years?
weeks,
Okay.
and then whatever the hell they posted earlier today,
I didn't see that.
or whatever, you know, with the bashing and this, that, and the other. Oh, dude, we don't need USA BMX.
They said that in the first meeting they had.
We don't need
Someone
none.
recorded it. We don't need you. We don't need them.
None of this other
Cool.
crap.
Great.
Okay, so where do you and your crew stand on this topic?
essentially,
Hey, there's still 10 porta potties at the track right
yeah,
now.
and still getting built. So essentially, it's
There's the porta potty that says 30-foot.
30-foot
Judge
judge sucks.
I think that's porta potty 4 or porta potty 3.
That is a classic. That's gonna be a classic forever.
It's on my memories.
Oh my
for
God.
Facebook.
And so here's
Yeah,
where it's at,
that's
right? We've gone to city council and we've said, listen, if you don't want this program to die, you need to either move it to Parks and Rec or a nonprofit or USA BMX and let it keep running, let it keep growing. PAL's been on record saying they don't care for it to grow. They were never into it to be a national program. They're not regional. They've come out and said that. They've even come out as far as said this doesn't have to be a BMX track, which is an outright lie because the lease is only for BMX racing out there. So essentially what happens is the city, and the final meeting is on Tuesday, and the city has the choice to leave the lease with PAL. PAL's already said that they will just run it as an unsanctioned practice facility, whatever. USA BMX said, we will put in a RFP to take over the lease. We'll give you like $2,000 a month, whatever, just a flat fee to the city, and we'll put back in. We'll give you beginner leagues, STEM programs, all that stuff. We'll keep it as a valuable asset. We'll run all those community days, all that stuff. Or it's gone, essentially. I mean, it will still stay there, but it becomes whatever, a pump track or a full-size track and a Calabasas, whatever you want to call it. But essentially, it all comes to an end on Tuesday. City Council has the ability and the power to keep this thing going as a functioning track, or we want to move it, or keep it as PAL and let it become.
And they can take it from PAL, right?
Yeah, so it's totally their lease.
On the 24th.
It's still their
Tuesday
property.
the 24th.
It's their property.
Tuesday.
They can do what they want with it.
Yep.
Kick PAL out, keep them, whatever, but
So-
keep PAL in there, it's done.
Yep.
I mean, so-
Tuesday.
Do you want to stay there?
So the only logical thing to me is you move it over to USA BMX. We still volunteer under them. We still make shit happen. We do the same program always been known. Because here's the thing. PAL's had it since the shutdown. They've supposedly had insurance. You've not run a single practice. You've not run a single race. You've posted several times, we plan on practicing this Friday. Come out Friday. The's going to be practice.
Oh, no, practice. We don't.
Yeah, well, one of the times they canceled. The other time they never even canceled, never even put anything up. And that's where when people are like, well, why don't you just give them the Facebook? I'm like, no, they're not responsible enough to have the Facebook reach that we have, because they put it up on their 100-person Facebook followers. Yeah, you can put up practice is going to happen and then nothing happens, no big deal. If I put that up on mine, I'm co-signing that. If you drive from Manteca,
Right.
as far as I'm concerned, I owe you some gas money because I didn't follow through with what I said.
Right.
Sure, damn right you do. You don't need more than gas money, Nick. I swear to God.
Rich not cheap.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna call Bill in the morning.
Yeah, and so
right
it's
now.
like in my opinion, they've demonstrated having the track themselves in 30 days, they've been able to get absolutely nothing done.
Right.
When we had it functioning under USA BMX for that month of March, we ran all sorts of races. We went back to our new,
Fucking killing.
and they made 8,000.
Yeah.
So we can do one good thing. If you don't like me for everything else under the sun, whatever, Nick sucks, he's stealing money, whatever. If I have one quality, it's we can get local racing done. So at this point, do you want local racing done, or do you want to prove your point?
Right.
And if your hills are so dug in, then it is what it is, and enjoy the pump
I had
track.
some parents come by right before the Manteca State qualifier. They're from Santa Clara area. And like, dude, my life sucks. They shut my track down.
Yeah.
They come over to get some parts. All right, he bought a bike for me. And I'm like, what track? He goes, Santa Clara. I'm like, oh, you're up there. He goes, yeah. Now I got to drive either to Manzanita. I got to go to Manteca, somewhere. He goes, Johnny Ontiveros.
Yeah.
Perfect example. I talked to you, he was here the other day. And I'm like, he goes, I got nowhere to ride. I said, well, you come to Manteca. He goes, yeah, but I can go to Santa Clara. It's like that.
Yeah.
Now it's an hour.
Yep. No, it's a big thing. It's a big staple friggin' routine of all BMXers.
Well, the bad thing is
The
no one
families,
knows to
the
take care of
parents,
the
the
track.
riders,
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah. No one knows to take care of it. No one can take care of it, but people who know. And the people who want to take over, they don't have a freaking clue
Yeah.
how to take care of the soil. Even if it was dirt, they don't know how to take care of it.
No.
Manteca's the perfect example. The city don't do anything out there because they don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
No,
That's all cities. But
the biggest thing
shut up, James.
is going to
Kill me, dog.
where out of all of this, how the hell does somebody have the right to go and put you in Facebook jail to take away your free speech, Nick? Like honestly, you know, we've said it on Saturdays for fucking goddamn weeks. You know what? Agree to do.
Yep.
You know what? You got different views. We got different views. This, that, the other. And then here we are. You're out there friggin' posting your stuff, which it's legit. You know, because that's you.
That what they banned you?
You know, you. But then
That's bullshit.
you wake up the next morning or the middle of the day or whatever, dude, and then you're in Facebook jail
So basically, someone from the PAL League ratted him out. and
for
said
30
he was-
days. But dude, it's not cool.
No, it's not.
You know,
I mean, you go to jail on Facebook, you usually deserve it. What he's doing, not quite the same.
Hey, I know.
Not always, I'm not gonna say always, at times, yes, but here lately, they're gunning for you, and now they're gunning for him.
You know,
It's just one of those things, I don't know, and you can't get around it because they have all the money.
well, that's the shitty
They
part.
make the rules.
I mean, Jesus Christ, Nick drives a goddamn Tesla. Where's Elon Musk? Let's get on freaking Twitter.
So I'm showing Mike the actual post I got Facebook jailed for was me running behind a kid, Brolin Clark, a 4-year-old kid that just started riding, and I ran behind him, just getting his. For a lot of kids, right? When they're 3 and 4, that first lap around the track, you're just huffing it, right? You're the factory dad, jogging, just kind of pushing them over the hill, right?
Working your ass off.
Yeah, so what got me banned, they flagged 13 of my posts and 11 or 12 of them got reversed because they're bullshit. Like I wasn't being a bully as they say. But because I added the Santa Clara PAL page and I put bullshit hashtag back on track, and that was enough bullying to give me a 30-day ban.
That was.
Come on, be real here, people.
I see my classmates supposed to work for that.
Hey, welcome to the life, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Rick and Justin and you all got,
Hey, dude, the district moms, dude, had a couple more freaking solar cups, and next thing you know, it's like freaking boobies and freaking hair going everywhere. Wasn't my fault.
80s hairbands.
I didn't do it.
Yep, and so that, I mean, at the end of the day, so now they're just trying to control the narrative by getting a couple people who can't post. They basically, I don't know if hacked is the right word, but they commandeered our track Facebook page, the one that everybody's accustomed to.
Right.
Because they are getting access to it under the notion that it's their track, so they should control the Facebook page. So we had took the PAL out of it a couple weeks back, so it just says Santa Clara BMX. We kept the logo the same because what a lot of people don't know is I actually own that logo. PAL doesn't even own the logo.
Well, yeah,
like
because,
come on, people.
yeah, you guys started that.
Yeah, like
page.
the whole thing, and Melissa, if she's still on here, she's the actual one who made it. So it's
Come
like,
on, Melissa.
I see people like, well,
Jesus.
he used PAL's logo for this, and I'm like, yeah, they don't even own the logo. That's how disconnected they are, and how we built it such from scratch. Like, you don't even own the very logo that anybody knows.
Right.
Like, come on, people.
I mean, God, you can't.
Yeah. So
It's freaking bullshit, dude.
they hired a marketing firm to do their basically their PR work at this point. That PR firm has pulled in some city council meetings and things like that. Like they lawyered up, they got a PR firm, so they're basically doing all they can to make the narrative of there's so much theft, there's so much that wasn't being noted and all that. But at the end of the day, they're upset on camps and clinics, and they were unaware, which I don't know how they could be unaware because
It's on
I mean,
Facebook.
yeah, it's on Facebook.
On their page.
Yeah, we would have camps and clinics. I'm adding the city mayor. I'm adding everybody. We're recruiting the people off Facebook. Camp too. It's been going on for 5 years.
I know.
And
I shared it on the beer page.
and I submitted to them the email from Rob, who was the PAL executive director when I started there, that explicitly said, run private lessons, camps, clinics, you do whatever you want with the money, upgrade the track, or give the money to your team. That team being Deegan and Benny. Not only did I give it to my team, I skipped the team, let's flow it all back into this facility.
Right, we're supposed to do.
Yeah, when we had like the girls' clinic, like, you think it costs money to get the Monster Energy voice? Absolutely it does. You gotta
Damn
call
right
that
it
dude and
does.
break bread, yeah.
Oh yeah, bud.
We got going off of the Star Hill. That shit ain't
Hey,
free.
we ain't got none of that
Yeah.
bullshit over here at the beer page, bud.
Yeah, none of that shit.
We're
is
inside, it's coming though.
free. Yeah. So
Pending,
a lot of it
pending.
is like you can't think it's okay that you profited off of all the different promos we did and all the different things and all the lessons and the beginner leagues, and through all that your ridership went through the roof. You were making $10 off of every kid that came out and raced. And I was volunteering for you, let's say at bare minimum, which I know it's a lot more, but let's say 5 hours a night, an average race night is what, 3-4 hours. I'm there an hour early, 30
Hours
minutes.
after. Yep.
Yeah, just
3
that's
nights a
what it
week.
is. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go into trophies getting shipped to my job and all that. Like, there's a lot goes on.
Right.
Right.
But let's just say a 100-week, I'm there for POW, 5 hours a day, so that's 15 hours for you. You're gonna come after me and call me a thief because I keep the revenue off the 1 hour that I have explicit permission from the clinic? 15 hours for you, 1 hour for me. And you're so greedy that you've made $250,000 here that you want to come after whatever I'm making here?
Which is
And-
not anywhere near.
And you didn't lift a finger for either.
Right, exactly.
Come on, man. I don't know how much more greed, like, what are we doing here? 15 hours a week times 50 weeks a year, and in that 2 weeks off, I'm there night and day trying to get it rebuilt to get...
Oh yeah, because you're just like, hey, status quo.
Yeah.
Hey,
Back
here
to
we
it.
go.
Raw deal.
I remember when Roseville used to do that. Every year when we went to Reno in January, we'd come back to a brand new track in Roseville. Other than the turns,
Yeah.
the layout would be different every year. I mean, and that's what people want. You want something that you can't. I fought it for 11 years. I fought it over here,
Yeah.
trying to get it taken care of, to change it up, to make it different for people. They didn't want to do that, but you have to have that. If you want to bring the riders in, you got to change it up, make it interesting.
Well, yeah, and it's become status quo now.
Yes,
like,
it is.
Now you are
Yeah.
the half step in track. If,
Yeah.
if you
Look
think
at
you,
DeSoto.
yeah,
Dude, they changed their shit
Yeah.
to the hilt.
If you don't have soil tack and freaking asphalt,
yeah, forget
you're,
about
you're
it.
freaking done.
DeSoto went off through the roof with their shit.
We had what, 5-6 years ago when it was at Chico,
Mhm.
but that was before asphalt.
Right,
So
right.
it's like, hey, if you ain't got freaking over 200 motos, we're not coming back.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Which was the biggest rock of shit. I mean,
shit.
it's a bad time of the year, way too hot. You're gonna give them a national, and then if no one shows up because they don't want to die,
Yeah.
you're not. Yeah, that's BS. I mean, obviously they got the new shit coming up, the 3 and the 5 meter hill. They're gonna be legit. It's gonna be an awesome track to go to, but they screwed them. They screwed Marty
Yeah.
and the board.
Huh?
You know, I mean, it was not cool.
Was to say, figuring big boy over here don't go and hit up old Shadow Cliffs over there in Pleasanton. Get that 3-meter fired up, son.
Yeah, and so and again, I don't know that Pal even understands, even after hearing about it and hearing the work going, because the problem is you got a couple of factory parents who are a year in, right?
Right.
They don't have the respect nor the history nor the context of what it was 5 years ago.
Or the knowledge.
Yeah, so for all they know, I just showed up one day, got the track keys, and Pal was it, and I just had to
Right.
turn the gate on and just keep it going status
There you
quo.
Pretty much.
And so you think you can take that over and continue it at the trajectory it is, which is a fucking rocket ship.
Right.
I'm like, dude, it doesn't work like that. But you guys have now told Pal, like, yeah, fuck Nick. We'll be all right. We'll run this track for you. Nick was kind of a little rough around the edges. Nah, fuck that
Yeah.
guy. You know? And it's like, dude, you guys have put this battery in their back, and you guys got them confident, like, yeah, we don't need Nick. We don't need a sanction. Somebody in that should have been like, whoa, hold the fuck phone
Right,
here.
exactly.
Yeah,
And nobody did.
and well, the only person who did, and well, I'm sure many of people said it, but I will. Malia Sinceri, she told them at the
My
town
girl.
hall, 100%.
Slingshot.
You lose the sanction, this shit is done.
Yeah. It's a wrap.
And I don't know if they just took it with the, oh, she's being loyal to that team, or like, no,
No.
absolutely. Regardless of how you feel, me and my crew or whatever, how we've run it, it is not. You don't got to be that smart to know. People are paying for races. Yeah, you might get a little bit of practice, people, and yeah, whatever. But you're not going to make $250,000 slinging practice
No.
because nobody's paying $10 for a practice.
Oh no, they paid 15 last weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That ain't
Yeah, and
Just saying.
Nobody's gonna do that again.
yeah, it's
Just throwing that out there.
yeah, that thing is dead on the vine 100%. But again, it's I think people want to win so bad to say we got rid of Nick. Well, shit.
Oh,
Sometimes in the quest of winning, you will make some stupid fucking decisions
lose.
and you'll lose
Oh
at the
yeah,
end of the day.
no, definitely.
You're gonna lose the track.
Yep.
And now it's gonna take 6 months to a year to get another one
Yeah.
all together for you. I mean, not because it's slow, because it takes time.
Yep.
But now they lost the tractor race out. We all lost the tractor race out.
And Jeff, and I mean, I don't know if we wanted to start going in the comments too much, but Jeff is perfect example. Powell, in one of their "we're gonna get back to racing" posts or whatever, they had made a statement about we're gonna commit to not going to $12 at least through the year. Well, why would you ever need to go to 12 when you're making 250K and you have the volume to survive at 10? I fought them to 12 for the last 3 years. They've been
Let's
like,
go 10,
we
baby.
need to go to 12. We don't need to go to 12. We're making oodles of money already.
$250,000.
Yeah. What do we need to go hit everybody for a 20%
Well, yeah, because
increase?
what you made 212,000 locals,
Yep.
$200,000.
So you're looking to make another 40 grand or
just
so
on locals.
by just adding that $2 on there, just because you don't need to.
I remember Manteca, Modesto was $6 Thursdays. You got a ribbon, $6 ribbon races on Thursday, which for I mean, hell, great. Most of us didn't want trophies anyway. We already had too many. But 15 or 12, I mean, some tracks are doing it, they're gonna get away with it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that it's so big, it's so astronomical right now on the local level that I think the association is not taking that into account. Honestly.
Yeah, and again, it's people are trying to make those decisions that aren't involved with the ridership. Because it's easy as a CEO to say, yeah, hey, make those iPhones $1,400. You don't got to be the lowly person to sell that fucking iPhone 13. You know, like, hey man, these are now $1,400, and that dude's pissed at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's the dude at the bottom who has to be like, yeah, sorry guys, it went to 12. And by all means, if you go because you're putting in a 5-meter hill or you're paving that, I'll justify that with you, and I'll go rounds with the ridership round the clock. But if I know to my core, yeah, we could do that with 10. Then
If
I'm
you're
not
racing Patterson for $12, I ain't going.
Yeah. You got
You remember Patterson?
Yep. You got a 5 and a 3, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to Patterson for $12, I'm not racing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Just because people can pay 12, doesn't mean what are you hitting them for?
No.
Yeah.
No, definitely
If-
not.
Is the track gonna get any better?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go into it, but I mean, yeah, it's just one of those things that
I have a feeling it's going to get a little worse
it will
in the,
get
in
a lot
the
worse.
future. Yeah.
But the thing is,
It's gonna.
$10,
You know?
$10, you're making some money. In the story,
Yeah.
you don't need to go to 12. You don't definitely don't need $15 gate practice.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's all about promoting sport.
Yeah.
BMX is gonna get rich, other than maybe big factory dealers, whatever. I mean, but tracks are not gonna get rich. You make
Right.
money, and you know what? It's a little bit extra money for your time. Most people will have a real job. They work the tracks on the side, just like Nick. He has a real job. He has his paycheck, pays his bill. The track, it is what it is.
Well, but the big bullshit thing is that him and his crew being thrown in Facebook jail for speaking their right
Dude, that's everybody.
on everything. And it's like,
It's everybody. If you
Dude.
aren't on the left side of and wanting Biden to do what he's doing and charge us $12 for gas, they're gonna get you. They're gonna get you. I don't care who you are. It's inevitable.
he's got a Tesla, dude.
I don't give a shit. They don't know that.
The hell they don't.
They don't know.
He
they
took
do.
It's his wife's name.
He took parking lot money, dude, and bought the beer page for 1.7 thousand.
1.7
Where's the price of
1.7.
your paper?
And what did we get out of it?
We got a couple banners.
We got some beer.
We're
We're
good.
good. We're good.
We're good.
Honestly, though, if you're not on that side, anything you say right now, I mean, I see it with you, with Justin, with Lee, I mean, all these guys, all the people who know all the United States, not just California, Michigan, Ohio. These people are getting banned for a little thing they say, and it's like, it's stupid shit.
Yeah, you're not staying in line. You're not staying in line. Simple as that.
Exactly.
You're that one nail that's sticking up a little too hard,
Yeah.
and you're gonna get smacked out.
What happens to the nail sticks up? It gets hit on the head with a hammer. And
Exactly.
and lately that's been you. And you're already sure, you don't need that shit happening no more.
I just want to know what my fucking bobblehead is gonna look like.
we'll talk now.
It's just gonna be the head, there's gonna be no ball.
There'll definitely be no neck, I can guarantee you that, there's no neck.
Hey,
No
hey,
neck,
hey,
Nick.
hey, easy.
No neck, Rick?
So-
Paying 12 for practice and driving 140 miles. Yeah, and see, and that's bullshit, especially when you have an apt track ready to go 10 miles from your house.
Right.
That would only be 10.
Oh, these people, I was talking to people this weekend, they're like, dude, my track shut down, I can't even go there, I gotta come to Manteca, I gotta go to Manzita, it's like, I feel you, bro, I can't go to Manteca either, so I gotta go to Manzita.
I'm in a similar situation.
Pal, I mean, I get it, it sucks, but I mean,
So Nick, what do we do from here, or what do we stand by for all
the PAL riders.
the local parents, the riders, I mean even us, you know, even though we're like an hour 15, you know, I mean, before I had to start freaking commuting, I was a regular there on Tuesdays and stuff. So with everything that has been said and been done, what is the next process?
Well, so to me, I mean, and just like Alex and a couple people have chimed in, is get down to that meeting on Tuesday, and I get it if your cat, dog's in the vet or whatever, for whatever reason you can't get there.
24th.
Yep, on the 24th, and let your voice be heard. Get down there, just because, let's be real, when you're going against a PR firm and people who are throwing money at it, they already have influence. They work with
Right.
those cities all the time.
Right.
They're going to keep a death grip on that, but whatever money, even if it's a lower amount of money, they do not want to lose that.
Right.
But show up there, because regardless of how that shakes out, either they keep it with us, they move it to USA, whatever they do, sure, we want the best case scenario. They hand the track to USA, you guys get back running. We're running Tuesday night, and we're
Right.
back, and we're having a welcome back race, right?
Right.
Worst case, say, you know what, we're going to keep it with PAL, let's let them do a pump track, but at least we've shown that city that there's 100, 200, 300 people that are chomping at the bit for a racetrack.
Right.
So we get it. Maybe your hands are tied as the council and you got it, but now we want to come back and say, okay, your hands are tied on that one, but you 4 or 5 people have the power to unlinquish this land over here, or that next big park project you got over there.
Right.
We want first dibs on that one. Because keep in mind, you were supposed to relocate that track 12 years ago, which hasn't happened. So maybe it becomes, when it gets relocated, yeah, pal, you guys do your pump track thing, but this is the crew we're working with going forward, because we feel they are the most apt people to work on that next thing. So get out there, support that, because that's the first thing in the fire, and then if that doesn't work out, then we roll out what the next thing is. If you trusted me with PAL and the future of PAL for those 5 years, trust me that I'm not going to let it all fall apart just on account of this, and we keep working toward whatever that next thing is, whatever that next area is. I know the sanction is fully backing us. They want us to get into a better situation. And I think that also lends to why they're not going to play ball with getting bullied over by PAL. Like, no.
They've already done it once.
Yeah, they've learned.
Well, now, so here's the thing too, is why the hell would they go and post like, oh, we're in negotiations with Justin Travis, you know, Luna, this,
Well,
that, you know.
You had a meeting about that, and the
Yeah,
guy stepped up and said,
yeah,
"Yeah, called me."
Well, yeah, and that was about a month ago.
Yeah.
But still, I think it was yesterday. They posted another thing like, "Oh, dude, we could do this, no problem. We don't need a sanction.
Yeah.
You know, we got shit dialed, this, that, and the other." Like, blah, 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 blah. Like,
Yeah, I mean, they've
the
absolutely been caught with their pants down on a couple of topics, especially with saying like, I mean, the one when Justin Travis at the city council meeting,
Right.
in 1 minute they're like, oh, we're negotiating, we're going to bring back camps, clinics, we feel we're pretty close to a deal. Justin Travis hops on 2 minutes later and says, I want to make something very clear, we are no longer in negotiations
dude, he
with
kicked him in the fucking dick.
Yeah, it's like you just got kicked in the teeth, but you just stood there and smiled through it as
And
if
lied.
yeah, as if there's even anything more to talk about. And in
Right.
that sense, I'm like, you might as well excuse them out of the meeting. Because
Yeah.
if you guys aren't the dudes,
Right.
then we need to talk and see what's salvageable
Right.
and try to see what we can still keep going.
Right. You straight up lied to our face, and, you got burned.
And not just that they lied to them, but that is the same as you've been lying to the ridership with, oh, we've already gotten insurance and we're going to be dropping gates on Friday. Well, absolutely no, you're not. So you've lied to the ridership and you've been kind of called on the carpet.
Right.
You've lied to the council. You've been called on the carpet. I'm like, how long is this going to go on
Right.
before we just say maybe you guys aren't the right dudes to be in charge of the deal?
It's and you know what? It's all political. It's
Yep.
all people.
It's
Everybody
so
putting money in their
freaking
pockets.
half-assed.
It's all about putting money in their pockets. It's across the board, president down.
Well,
They all put money in their pockets. for
Jim
what they do.
Seaver, we will definitely be posting. I'll make sure that the beer budget, now that I own it, I'll make sure that they share it.
Wait, no.
Yeah, but it is.
You rented it for now. You don't own it. Come on
It
now.
is at
right?
Santa Clara City Hall. It's not too track, but it's a 7 p.m. meeting. I'm assured that BMX will probably be the first thing they talk about, just because there will be so many people there.
Stop
and
it,
I'm trying to get
Manteca.
them-
Pick me up, Jim. We'll go together.
Yeah, and I will absolutely make sure that it is shared. And another thing, the Facebook page will be back up. We're going to turn it back on just so we can get 1,000 people reach that we have
Oh,
on there.
hell
And
yeah.
make sure that we can get all that out there and get all that information out there.
Oh yeah, Jim. Stop at Manteca. I'll roll with you, bro. I want to go. Rick already's there, so but yeah.
there's a good
Let's
taco.
get it out.
There's a good taco truck over there.
Absolutely.
There's a bunch of good taco trucks over there. Wait. Yeah. There's.
So, so Nick, with you and your crew, with Serenities and the Browns and everybody like in between, Steve Heath, how,
Man, Steve, love that dude.
Bandit, 30
Well, hold on.
30 plus
How
years.
deep we want to go with this combo?
Well, I'm just like,
How we want
how-
to be here? That's what Rick's asking you right now.
Yeah,
how do you just
Sounds
like
good, Jim.
move forward from this? It's a kick in the nuts, honestly.
Well, and so
And to behind the 8 ball with the circumstances that is, and everything that you guys have accomplished, like, shit, what's next? Like, honestly.
So to backtrack, and I kind of want to cover this across the board because it covers Steve's team as well as a couple other local teams. If this works out, however it works out, there's going to be some conversations because a lot of these parents that are out saying things and the little whisper ear slander, there's going to be some conversations, not just for teams, but for individual people of, you said a lot. When Nick was getting persecuted, you was whispering in the corner and kind of throwing out information and, well, I think maybe he is doing that. And Powell, when they fade away, because they will, it just is what it is. They were
Right.
never involved, and they're not going to be involved long term. I think we would all agree. I'm a lifer at this point. I've done it for years. I'm never going away. It's my passion, whatever it is.
Right.
But I'm definitely going to hold many of people accountable for some of the stuff they say. And Steve Heath, unfortunate for him, love him to death. 30-year volunteer at Santa Clara Powell, a history.
The guy is a legend.
Definitely made some mistakes in putting some recent people on the team that are not on the ridership side of it. So it's like me and Steve, me and Steve have a conversation coming. What are we doing here? Because if we're working different ways, then let that be known.
Right.
But if you're gonna be on the board, if you want to come sit and have a beer with me, that's fine. But we can't have you whispering and throwing out little info here, little info there, in the air. So, and by all means, if the chat want to throw the names out there, you go right ahead. And the same for the other team that, like I said,
Chat room's open, guys.
yeah, the other team that got a little rift about the camps and clinics not being able to happen with they thought. Now that I've explained why those camps and clinics, I don't expect you to come apologize to me, but let's cut the shit. Because now I've explained to you, I tried to be a good buffer and explain, it's not going to work out, but there's definitely going to be a lot of kind of reconciliation when you go back and say, all right, well, we all back on the same page here? Because that's the shitty part is, I did all I did for you for 5 years straight, came out of my own pocket, built this program, everybody benefited, everybody.
Right.
And then when Nick was on the outs getting the accusations and whatever, you were quick to hop on the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
Like that's the shitty part. And you take it as a TO, you get that thick skin, you expect factory dads and it comes with the territory to a certain extent. But when you got teams that have been around for 30 years and it's like, wait, you're aligning with this person? Like, that person is gonna be one of the,
One of them already got thrown under the bus.
yeah, and that's gonna be one of the main people, because like I said, when people were telling Powell, you don't need Nick, you could run this yourself.
Yeah.
Those people are like, when you say, no, I'm on the team that's been around here for 30 years and we know that you can do it. What? You get Powell to then think that they're more involved than they are, and
No,
they don't
they-
need the
they-
sanction.
yeah, they-
and dude, you damn near, you
the
walked
big
them off
head.
the cliff yourself.
They said it themselves. So the first meeting they had at the track.
Right.
Someone recorded. Oh, we don't need you or the US BMX.
Yeah.
Wow. Really? No shit.
Yeah, and
It's all bad.
and I think a lot of it, if and when it turns into a practice track, like it ends up at the feet of those people. You guys got Powell so riled up that they were the shit and they
Yep.
they don't need me. And then when the sanction left town,
Right?
Yeah.
well shit.
Fuck. Where's the money?
Yeah, what are we gonna do now?
Yeah.
How are we gonna pay for soccer, baseball, and lacrosse and everything else? But you ain't.
Yeah.
Figure it
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
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 you
yeah.
better
You
better
pay, fucker.
yeah, you better figure out how to get those programs as successful as your BMX program
There you
was,
go.
because them hemorrhaging money ain't gonna fly no more. So.
Yeah, that's definitely a freaking deal right there. I mean, and honestly, too, it's like, dude, it's riding bikes.
Well, the thing is, you know what?
How the hell? It's like
Yeah, we're not making millions. No one's making big
we're
money.
riding
in BMX.
bikes, man.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know,
sorry.
I
We're
mean,
a bunch of dumbasses at our age
Hey.
riding bicycles.
who the
kids'
hell would have
bikes.
thought we'd have like a night like this? Yeah.
Oh, we've had a few of them, but this was pretty
Half the time we're like, hey, dude, we're gonna go hang out in freaking Bank of America and just go see if
No,
we can
Bank
get
of
busted.
Stockton.
Bank of Stockton.
Yeah.
Go see if we can get busted.
Go ride around town one night.
You know, we're gonna go like right through the town.
The
and
security
shit.
guard took a
Yeah.
picture of my buddy on his bike. Just when he pulled up to the parking lot waiting for us, he goes, he took a picture of him with his
Yeah.
phone. So my buddy took his phone out, took
Yeah.
a picture of him.
Dude,
He's
we're-
like, yeah, I'm waiting for someone. I'm trying to rob the bank, you fucking idiot.
Dude, but then you got shit like this. It's like, dude,
Yeah, you start to learn real quick.
you're way the
Who the-
fucking
who's the
hell-
real-
Yeah, the friend and foes, right? And in BMX, I mean, you learn it's the lifers that are always gonna be there. They're always
Right.
gonna help no matter. But then you start to learn real quick. It's like, yeah, and I get it. Some of those people, like I said, they weren't there 5 years ago when it was dirt turns falling apart,
Right.
Yeah.
fucking weeds everywhere, and it just sucked, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you just started in the last year or two, at least give me the credit to see it through. But to jump ship, I had heard a crazy rumor that we went and we sabotaged the gate. Did we sabotage the gate, or have we been the only people dropping the gates for the last 5 years that you've just never known how it worked?
Did you see that? I didn't see that.
Yeah, so it was mumbled at Manzanita Park and then got back to me. And what happened was, so we have two compressors there. One of them is Derek
I
Brown's.
hate fucking missing.
And
shit
so
like
we
this.
we removed one of them because they told us come get all your shit out. Now we could have them, and we could have removed it and the piping, which would have removed all the piping that got all.
Right,
So if I wanted to, I could have been a real asshole. We removed it when we built it in. We made it so you could close off that line.
Right.
So it works, but in your mind, because you think Nick is the devil, he's still, and you saw a compressor going, well, shit, he sabotaged the gate. You never thought to go and turn on the normal compressor and hit the button and watch that gate function as is? No, because it's
no,
such
no.
easier
We're
to
talking
just,
shit.
yeah, it's easier to make that excuse and, oh, shit was sabotaged.
Throw him under the bus.
Fucking, what are we
You're
doing
an asshole,
here?
bro.
Yeah.
We can't race because Nick sabotaged us.
Cast out.
Yeah,
That's
and,
all they
and,
want.
and that'll be the excuse, right? Well, and they'll be at city council. Well, we wanted to run, but Nick sabotaged us.
Man, we didn't have, but we didn't have insurance.
Yeah,
Or
never
anything
mind.
else.
Yeah, we these
Hey,
10 other
Ain't
things.
no different than freaking Manteca when they were like, oh, dude, Chris Hall freaking, oh, dude, we ain't got no announcer. Can't race.
And Gilbert, just to give you some
Same
transparency,
freaking thing.
what, and even to this day, I can't be transparent about an accusation that's never been fully levied. So when people are saying, Nick, we wish you would have been more transparent, what was there to be transparent about? Because nobody ever came out and said, Nick, this amount of dollars is missing, or they're saying you're not doing this, they're saying you're not doing... We were 2 months into their quote-unquote investigation before I caught wind that they said it was camps and clinics, and they said it to USA BMX, which USA BMX said, well, he has permission to do that, and he's already sent us that email, so what's the problem? So you can say that I should have gave more transparency, but once they finally said camps and clinics, I emailed and that was done in 1 day. But you had already gotten 2 months of slander. So, I mean, how much more transparency was I going to give when it was never levied?
Right.
Yeah, so,
I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody
everybody,
has an opinion.
Yep.
how
Whether it's
does,
right, wrong, true, or false, everyone's got an opinion, everybody can, that's what this is for. Hey, let us know what you think, but
but how
ask the
does,
question, don't accuse.
how does something like that come about and be like, dude, we're totally done.
Oh,
this,
shit.
this is what we did, and that's it. You know, like it, deny it, I don't give a shit. This is, hey, on paper, and, hey, run what you run.
Just back your statement before you accuse anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, because honestly, you start throwing out accusations, it usually doesn't work out very well for you, especially with the wrong kind of people.
Well, now here's the thing. Okay, so Nick was, okay, dude, we had the freaking state races, everything's good, alright, couple hiccups. Here comes the fucking national. Alright, this, that, and the other, or dude, you guys are like shut down, you got this, you got that. Next thing you know, hey, we're back up and running.
Yep.
You know? So, but how do you backtrack that? You know? How do you go and backtrack something like that, especially with your group, when you've been accused of some stupid bullshit?
$250,000. $250,000. I'm not giving you enough. Dude,
Yeah. And that's what it boils down to is they caught via that person, like I said, got in their ear because that person at first was appearing to be helpful, right? Oh, Nick, I can smooth it out. That's everybody when they get to the situation. It was the same with USA Bmx, and I'm not shit talking them either. But when they got there, like, oh no, we'll be the work between. We can smooth it out with PAL. We'll let them know you had permission. I'm like, yeah, you guys are new to the scene, and you guys think this is just this little tiff.
right.
I've been dealing with these guys for 5 years. I know this is, it all boils back down to greed, greed, greed. So everybody stepping in is like, oh no, you just got to explain what you do with the money. I do everything with the money. What part of everything that happens here comes from that camp and
Shit
clinic
ain't
money?
free.
Like, I don't know what else you need explaining.
Shit
So,
is not
so
free.
what it, okay, so for everybody across the states that probably don't understand it, is for running a PAL track. So, okay, it's Tuesday night, okay, you got sign-ups, this, that, the other, okay, everything's gonna go, dude, you're getting ready to press that enter button or whatever, motos are posted. Does all that just go to PAL? Does that go to USA Bmx? How does that go? Once everybody's like all
That's
set
the money breakdown, basically.
yeah, what, yeah.
So absolutely 100% of that goes to PAL. And if anybody, if you're in a newer track or whatever, now they've done it, and again, if we were stealing, we would have never went to online signups. But I never see your sign up, I never see your credit card number, I never see your information. All that I see, I get dropped as a data PDF file, right? It comes in, I pull it out of this thing, I move that data PDF file into a thing, and I hit print the motos. All that money is already directly dumped into PAL's account from when you first signed up. So if it's a Tuesday race and you signed up Monday night, they've had your $10 from Monday night.
Damn.
Out of that $10, they pay USA Bmx $65 total. Because that's another good thing. Like if we peeking behind the track operator curtain, I don't want to hear any track say they don't got money, because that USA is charging any track to run a race is $65. That is 100% the highest fee that you could pay to run a race.
For the
Local,
like the
for
day,
For a local racing.
the overall.
Yeah, the most you
Done.
can pay is $65. So let's say you get 100 riders at $10 a rider, which is pretty small for PAL, right? We
Right.
average about 170, but let's just say 100. The math for the people who can't do great math. It's about $1,000 that they took in. They're going to pay out $65 to USA Bmx for, and that covers the insurance. And they're going to pay out, let's say, maybe 20 sets of awards at $4. But they're still making on any given night $3,000. And they have that right away. There's no way, there's no anything. They're getting that right off the top. And that's how you get to that $212,000 because we run 130 of those events at 175 rider
Been
average.
asked that question for a long time.
Yeah,
Been waiting.
yeah. So any track that claims they don't have money, I don't want to hear it.
Exactly, and I know that.
Yeah, and
but
don't
I
say
have
that
no
you
links
can't
at all.
reinvest. Like,
Right.
yeah, and yeah, maybe that'll piss some people off because that's
No,
too
it's-
much
it's-
information.
it's
Right, because they don't want, no one wants, the track operators don't
Yeah.
want to know what you're
And,
making.
and that's where it goes, right? And that's a $10 track. So if you're paying 12 or 15, USA BMX doesn't slide theirs up. They don't say, well, you're paying 12, so we're going to charge you 70. Or no,
Exactly.
they max that you're ever going to pay 65 for a local.
I've heard it several times.
So,
What
so,
money?
Like,
What do you mean, what money?
Shit. Lake Paris.
Tommy 2x4 logging in.
Yeah, Lake Paris because what? Lake
Tommy
Paris. They bumped theirs up to what?
Yeah, they're
20,
pretty high now.
20.
Yeah, they're pretty high. Now Lake
But
Paris.
they're paying the estate. The
Yeah, so
fairgrounds.
they may have a surcharge that they send $1 to
Right.
the fairgrounds, or they gotta cover. So there is some where it gets a little bit intricate. Now I will say for 100%, I know the PAL one through and through.
Right.
But I know another track that pays absolutely nothing. That's pretty close to where we are. You know, like
Yeah.
there's many. I know tracks that get a fee for upkeeping the track and still keep all the track stuff. So yeah.
Huh.
What the-
I
what-
never got a paycheck, so.
What the hell do you see? We just got a show.
Yeah, I know what it took me for 11 years to do what I had to do, and I got nothing out of it.
Yeah.
No shit.
Okay. Here's okay.
And Gilbert, I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but feel free if you want to throw a rumor out there. I don't fault
Take two of them.
nobody who wants to put one out there and kind of we can put it to bed right here. I definitely got no problem.
Hey, chat room is open, officially open right now. After
Let the shit start.
And Keith,
I mean,
and like
let's
Keith
go.
is saying, he dumps all the track in.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I've done. Like, and it can go so far. Like, you literally, when we did the big traveling trophy, that thing was a couple $100. I paid for that. The concrete on top of turn
dude,
2,
this-
$9,000. I paid for that whole thing.
the series that you had going on.
Yeah,
The
everything.
first one?
All the awards for the girls series, people were getting Speedline cranks, $440. Now, granted, and here's where the people counting the beans will come back. Well, he got those at half price because he got them from a sponsor. Oh well, it's still my money, right? It
Your
is what it
factory.
is.
Your factory.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, and we just
Get the hell
literally
out of here.
been paying, and all those little things. Every little thing adds up, and then for everybody to come back out and then say, "Oh, you were stealing. You didn't put back."
Ground?
Yep.
They're speaking under the water? Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder who told them that.
Yeah, no, by all means, like, if you wanna
Yeah.
throw out a
Hey, don't be shy. We don't turn anybody's comments
Yeah.
away.
Hey, we ain't got nothing else better. to
Yeah.
do.
let the troll accounts fly.
Yeah, we don't give a shit.
Yeah,
Because it's
hey,
bullshit, you're gonna get
yeah.
called out.
Hey,
We don't care. I mean, you don't have to like us.
chat room's open. Record-breaking show. Like,
You're
Oh,
still sitting at 100,
shit.
3 hours in.
yeah, no, Nick, you.
Hey, if anybody driving an Uber, we need to Nick a ride home. He'll be too tired to drive. So.
Yeah.
The autopilot
And
will take me on home.
there's a Tesla charging station right around the corner for him.
Yeah.
Put his car in, so he
Yeah,
can
right down the street, there's one.
4650 expert 2x4. He'll be in there, I think, or 51 and over. Yeah, he's probably in 51 and over, I would guess.
Who's that? Oh, yeah, he's my class. 51,
Yeah.
51 and over.
Pistol Pete had the whole 09 kick on.
Oh, you see that?
Did you see last time he came back? Were you watching when he came back last time?
The last good, and this will date me a little bit. This is how damn old I am. Stompin' Stu had the NBL Grands come back, if you guys remember.
Yeah.
The last running of NBL Grands,
Yeah.
he showed up in a full red line kit and was airing it into turn 2. This is the last good comeback.
But do you remember the last time Pistol Pete came back?
No, I do not actually.
Mid 2000, 2010, 11, 12?
Oh,
Yeah.
Gmo's saying it's bullshit, huh? You don't
Oh,
see the pistol
Gmo.
coming back?
Hey,
Gmo.
He came back last time and wrecked everything.
Come on, son.
Jeff Willis, I can tell you that there are many. My email is not boring these days. I will say that San Jose has expressed quite a bit. Believe this or not, this will be a good joke. Sunnyvale Pal has hit me up several times.
What?
Sunnyvale.
Sunnyvale Pal.
You guys have burned me out once. I don't really think I want to go that route again.
I was very up forward when I let them know. I said, listen, I'm coming off a bad breakup.
If I can get fucking
Right. Real bad breakup. She took everything.
I swear to God, dude.
Yeah,
If
2x4, he remembers it.
If I can get grass seats at the shoreline, I don't give a shit.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, there is I will say there is no shortage of tracks in just about the entire Bay Area, and I am not turning away anybody if it gets to that point, which hopefully it doesn't, of course, but if it absolutely gets to that point, I think it shouldn't come as any surprise to anybody. Absolutely, we will be looking to relocate. Can we get rid of that triple into turn? Here's another perfect one. Because
Hey, let's talk about
Get a new
this
track, bro.
there will be a rebuild. I'm not particularly happy with the rhythm right now, so that will absolutely get redone. That triple will be wiped and be redone. Absolutely. You will definitely see quite a bit. And here's the thing. If we somehow finagled it and got back to where we would run the track, you would not believe how amazing that track would be within, I would say, the first year. The paved parking lot, you would see a big nice hill, you would see very national caliber if it's not already, and you would see quite a bit just because, again, we've done that. We've done what we've done with absolutely no revenue outside of my own clinic money going back into it, and you're talking double, triple, 3, 4 times the amount that we would then have available to us. We would be responsible and put in toward what that new location is going to look like, but to me, the ridership deserves it right now, so we would absolutely start putting shovels full of money right back into it.
Totally legit. I mean, I don't give a shit what
Who the
anyone thinks.
hell idea was it to have a goddamn show?
Well, first of all, I want to know who Nick Valencia Clinic, but they're paying them to do it. That's what's great. And it goes to the track. That's fucking awesome.
But here's the thing, though.
You know, I mean, I watch the race all the time.
You're getting ready to revamp everything.
He's already revamped everything, and look what happened to him.
But he's getting ready to do it one more time.
He's gonna rebuild a whole new facility. What's gonna wind up happening? Because it doesn't sound like they want to play nice.
How? So
Plumbed bathrooms. Come on. Yes, everybody wants plumbed bathrooms. It's just it's not easy.
this ain't fucking DeSoto BMX. Chris Allen, Jesus Christ.
The Rockstar Energy.
Oh, that was another wild rumor that was stated. There was some rumor.
What's that?
I heard a rumor last week that there was a public document. Of course, it never came out, but it's out there supposedly. That I petitioned to take over a Tracy track and Manteca track. Now, I've been racing for a long time. And I've never known Tracy to have a track.
I didn't realize Tracy
How the
was
heck?
there.
Hey, how the hell do we not know about this bullshit right now?
And that I was who killed the Livermore track, which ironically they've been in touch with.
You and Jason
to get
Silva,
back.
apparently.
Yeah. So yeah, and like I said, anybody wants to throw up a rumor, trust me, I've heard them all this week.
Okay, so, but you did run Livermore.
So I was
for a stint, right?
I was the last functioning track operator at Livermore. Now, when USA BMX became a thing, so I should say when ABA bought NBL for pennies on the dollar,
Right.
I was owed probably $6,000 if I recall, and slick talking because if you remember, like the NBL getting bought out, happened, we knew it was happening,
it was gangster shit back
but
then.
it was just more of a rumor. And then one day it was like, yeah, they're done. Here's the lawyer you can call if you want.
I
Yeah,
went to Kentucky.
if you want to put in a claim to get some of your
you
money owed, then here's the number to call. So we were up shit creek, and I was like, and we had just done a rebuild, and I was like, dude, I'm not gonna get them from that regional, which was gonna get to even for that rebuild we had just did, and I don't know, I could say their name, they're out of the sport already. Alden and Ivy Fought were like, so they were big, they had the little, the chocolate place or whatever it's called. They were like, they came and I think they hit up Silva and were like, hey, we want to take this track over, we're in the Chamber of Commerce, our kids love it. They were new to the sport, right? Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. We got some money, we want to make Livermore happening.
I remember that, dude.
So I was like, cool, they want to make it happening. I just lost my ass by $6 or $7 grand, and I don't think the lawyer's ever going to come back.
Right.
I don't want to be involved in this new USA BMX venture.
That was like
Here's the keys. Here's a cell phone that was attracted. Have at it. It never
By
opened,
by
and
like
apparently I killed
3
it.
years.
That it's been closed.
No, between with when you were presented.
And the
No,
box.
no, that was
The whole
no.
thing.
It trickled right over. They never got it going, and it spanned over because then there was the hot rumor was the track was going to move down to the skate park at the Sunken Gardens,
Sunken Garden.
and that thing's been kicking around
Son of a
literally
bitch.
for 10, 15
Yeah.
years.
Son
you
of a
know?
bitch, it still goes on right now.
And it's still not like you know me. I'm always optimistic, but that shit ain't happening.
That goddamn skate park sucks dick. I swear to God,
We're going back to Facebook
dude,
jail.
I can't foo-foo-noo for a motherfucker over there. I swear,
Really?
dude.
Really? This is fakey. Foofanoo?
Oh,
You can't
fakey.
even spell foofanoo. Shut up.
No, I will fakey out of the goddamn freaking parking lot and nobody's business. But foo-foo-noo? Son of a bitch.
Spell it.
What the fuck is a foofanoo?
Spell it. I know to spell it.
No,
If you can't spell it, you
I'm
can't
not
do it.
getting paid for this shit. Right? We're waiting for Bill Ryan to
But he can do it.
No, he can't.
But he can.
It's our show.
Body
Son
bought
of a
it.
bitch. Wow, okay. Well,
I get groceries.
Yeah.
That's it. Kevin Huffman, nobody even knows what Stivers is.
Hey,
That's
I
because you're
do.
old like me.
I do.
Yeah.
I've been there. That track was badass.
Oh,
They had the groundskeepers grooming that track every day.
Yeah.
I tell people to this day, I was like, there was a track at the back of a private school that made no damn sense, but it was epic if you were a bike rider. How they pulled that
That
off.
day, that Daytona first turn,
Yeah.
dude, that turn was 30 foot wide. You could ride anywhere in it.
Absolutely
Thank you.
national.
Because Rick can't spell it. We know that.
I can't spell shit.
S-H-I-T.
Hey, Jim got big. Hey, they got
Someone had to
BLB.
do
Hey,
it, right? Someone had to.
BLBP. Got a contest coming up in a couple of weeks.
Hey, Jim's picking me up on Tuesday. I'm all good.
Alright.
I can't wait for that party.
Oh, dude. Hey, 9-9, girl. Get ready.
Hospital ribbon
Dude,
here in Santa Clara. Shit,
Don't-
it's gonna be a good night.
don't sweat on him.
Teresa, who are you with at the 4-star? Ryan Garcia or Mary Garcia? That's another person been working on a track for a long time and just fucking cannot get a fair shake.
Oh, Garcia?
Yeah, Mary Garcia has been at
Dude,
far too
I tell you
long.
what, dude, they gotta be tied into a friggin' pine over there in Mosquito. I'm telling you, dude, they're like,
Holy, just come buy one. I can raffle it off.
they trickle down, dude. It's like a virus.
Garcia, that's Roybals.
Yeah, he's
Oh, original people.
Yeah, Roybal, he's one of them. He's like the head leader of the bullshit right there.
No, I'm pretty sure you got that covered.
No, me? No, not
Yeah.
me, man.
But Roybals, one of the Garcias, probably that was who. That's where he started.
No, that was
riding
when-
short down the track.
that whole crew.
With Joey.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I mean, you get back to the Garcias, and not that Manzanita hasn't had a lot of good track operators from them, but the Garcias, in my opinion, maybe just because I grew up riding with them, they were the last great set of track operators there. They were NBL Nationals, like that track was booming back then.
I raced her last NBL National.
yeah.
They were, because, you know what? They had the mom and pop thing.
Oh,
Okay, laid back. They not worried about a goddamn thing, dude.
They were in it for the right
It's,
reason.
it's like, hey,
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
hey,
And that's
Right,
ultimately,
that's what it comes down to. You're in it for the right reason. You're not in it to make money. You're in it for the kids.
Yeah.
Because your kids started in it.
but hey, you gonna show up and baby balls to the wall? Alright, let's go.
and I tell people to this day, and it's funny because it sounds corny, but the Stan Coburns, Mary Garcias, like those people, and that was the one good thing about being an NBL kid was you grew up, and like you said, those were mom and pop tracks, so that you could sit in the staging area, you could sit in the booth while they did it, and you saw that, and you saw them giving back. And that
Yeah,
shit,
right.
that shit is instilled in me, and I will make sure that I instill it in the kids that I work with. That as long as you take care of the track first, BMX will take care of you.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
What NBL national is on YouTube?
The Christmas
Christmas Classic.
Yeah. It's all over there.
no.
South Park.
It's before that.
Kentucky,
Roy Ball's up in the friggin' booth, and
Kentucky.
Nick's like 12 years old. You know, Ricky Castro's out there, Gavin
probably-
Luba's
Emmy
out there,
Grahams, yeah.
and it's like all the legit freaking California rider guys are out there just kicking everybody's freaking dick in. It's like, oh man,
Yep.
MBL Grams for sure.
Yep.
you got a lot of work to do, but holy shit.
The bad thing about it was that when USA Bmx bought them out, they had an option, especially the pros. The pros had an option of who they wanted to ride for, what they wanted to do, and because no one was paying them. But then when the USA Bmx bought them out, it kind of turned it into a shit show. Now it's a one-way thing,
Yeah.
which it is what it is. But I still think that
NBL paid better for pros.
yes.
But and they had to because there was a little bit of competition, right? If they were paying $3,000, then it made sense for US or ABA to say, well, we're gonna pay for the $3,500, you know. And if they paid deeper or they paid semi money, well, shit. Well, let's go there.
Everybody raised the bar.
Robbie, I'll tell you.
Thing.
I mean, you make quarter money, you make semi money, you make big money.
Back in
No,
Back
the
right,
early 80s.
guarantee. You know, Chris Moeller, he posted
Moeller.
earlier in the week because with the whole Frogtown thing
Right.
coming up in September. Oh, dude, we got friggin' back in the day, this shit, then we got this, I got friggin' hosed friggin' last year, and I'm saying like,
It's not the same track though, when we were kids. I raced it in the
alright,
70s.
let's go, dude.
It's not anything near what it was when I raced it.
Dude,
But, you know what, it was still a good day.
Frogtown's gonna be a banger.
Wendy said thank you. I'll
Can
get
you grab me
I'll
a
get
Gatorade out of the fridge?
The hell do I look like? Eddie Murphy?
That's it, man. That's all I
Kinda.
drink. Soda.
Hey, whatever, Sean.
My bad. Thank you, Sean Plum, for the awesome food tonight.
Kevin Huffman. I have actually looked into that, and if one property that I have eyed up works out, that will absolutely be done.
Do we really need it though?
I would do it. This is just me being
Not a
selfish. I
building.
don't think we need it, but I would do it just to. I
Why
think
not?
you can. Yeah, I think you can make them clean. I think it's a good start because then, like, it makes that. Basically that footprint, right? Where you
Right.
drop it in the ground, you have concrete around the edge. If you do happen to get
Like
to
a pole barn, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Like
just
a
yeah, no
yeah.
walls.
The
I
totem
don't
deck
think-
is all over.
Yeah, I don't think you need walls at all.
No.
But yeah, I would absolutely do that, and that's one of those things like, and that's kind of, and I'm sure somebody will kind of screenshot this, but the only good thing to somewhat come out of PAL is I've learned and I've gotten experience on somebody else's dime. Like I've learned, I've seen how much it can make, I've seen how much it has made, and now I know because let's say 5 years ago, if you were like, hey Nick, do you want to finance this building? It's going to cost you $6,000 a month. Back then, that was a lot of money to me, and I would have been like, oh, there's no way you could do that. Now I have 5 years of experience. I know exactly what I could pay,
Right.
and I know if that 6 wasn't enough, I know exactly how many more clinics I need to do. So I've learned enough of that, and that'll be like the kind of the good takeaway is you've had, and yeah, whatever, they benefited from it the entire time, and sure, you leaving not the most unceremonious, and I probably deserved a little bit better of an escort out the door.
Right.
But I mean, at this point, all you can do is say, you know what? Thanks for the
I figured
experience.
shit out.
Yeah, thanks for the experience.
Right. Absolutely.
Finger in the air.
Yep.
I mean, it's almost impossible to keep everybody happy. I mean, DeSoto was the first pole barn track I went to. This was it was 2010, I think. For they had a World's qualifier.
Right.
I took Dalton and Megan Matthews.
Yep.
We all went up there. And dude, I was like, other than the fact that it snowed like a son of a bitch and we froze our asses off, I would think 10 months out of the year or 9 months out of the year that track would be legit because, and then we went back this year. It was awesome. Loved it. I mean, only
Baby.
half sides. I mean,
Dude, we had a hell of a time out there.
Chris Allen put on a hell of a show.
God, I love Chris
300,
Allen.
what, 307 motos. I mean, it was legit. He upgraded. He got bigger.
Boy.
Like, that kind of thing right there. It's the kind of thing out here in California you'd think we'd be able to get more of. Like a pole. It's just a pole barn. That's all it was.
But it's the same thing, okay? You know, you got Nick. He knows the whole deal. You know, the volunteer base, they know the thing too. It's like, hey, bigger, might be better. Yeah, Jordan Miranda, dude, look at friggin' Metro. if you can go and build off a freaking metro, and then you're coming up over here in Santa Clara or San Jose or whatever, give or take,
Right.
whatever it's gonna be, and it's like, all right, we got something to build off of. Let's freaking let the big dog eat, and then let fucking hell have its fucking reign, and that's it. Like, honestly, I mean, dude, no other track has a freaking rhythm section down the second straightaway.
It would
with Jordan.
in
And
California though, it would break somebody trying to have an indoor track. If no other reason, air conditioning and heating. If you had a complete indoor track, everybody keeps saying, we need an indoor track. We don't.
Yeah, but the thing
You can't
is,
afford it.
hey, accommodate for the freaking season. Where it's like, dude, we're doing the
A pole barn would work.
Yeah, oh, it would.
Complete indoor.
Hey, we're doing.
Tom Finelli wanted to bring out a big building like the Toys R Us factory
We're,
and make it indoor. It would
Yeah.
work because you could have a track, you have a dirt jumps, you could have a
Yeah.
pump track, you have everything. But you have to have the subscribers.
hey,
Yeah, you need multiple revenue streams.
you're
Right.
doing the left coast swing. Like was what 2 years ago?
All these people coming over here from the East Coast,
when
raise nationals. When
They were
back
in
then.
Florida. Okay, because Ricky was out there too. I remember. Okay, they had it was during COVID. Tampa BMX. It was like it was one of the pop ones. All right, cool. Yeah. Hey, no problem. Make it happen. All right.
Oh,
Hey,
damn,
over
man.
here on the hey, over here on the left coast. All right, cool. You got friggin' Metro BMX over there in Bakersfield, Santa Clara Powell. All right. Hey, you know what? Let's see what the hell we can make happen. Because out of the ordinary sells.
Oh, it does. Yeah, I absolutely agree.
That's the biggest thing.
But
that
you just have to have enough money to get it going and keep it afloat for a couple of years because it ain't gonna take off right away.
Well,
I mean,
but if you have the backing, the support, the local, same, indifferent, whatever,
right.
okay? Who the hell has a rhythm section down the goddamn fairway?
Just Bakersfield.
At turn one.
Bakersfield.
Now, then word gets over here to freaking Nick.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
They're
What?
blowing it up. Oh
What?
my God.
you got you got what the hell you got going on right now? Okay, cool. I'm gonna fucking change this son of a bitch up. I got a skid steer. I'm gonna take Flickcraft or whatever the fuck you want to talk about, and we're gonna change this shit up real quick right now and be like, alright, good, we're done. Then you're talking like, holy shit.
You can do it. If you have some backing to get it going, you can do it. But it's gonna take a lot. I mean, there'd be a lot of backing too. You gotta make a human facility to do something like that, what we're talking about.
Well, no, you don't need nothing humongous.
No. You have a track, you got a pump track, you have dirt jumps, you gotta have a skate park, you gotta have a foam pit. You want everybody to come, you gotta accommodate everyone.
No, you're talking about foam pit, dude. I didn't say I was taking my fucking shirt off, dude. Alright?
Well, you don't want to take your shirt off.
No,
I know you lost 15 pounds, you look as sexy.
It's feeling good.
I still don't want to see your boobs.
I am.
Sorry, don't want to
But-
do it.
You know what? When shit's freaking on the freaking wick right there, it's like, oh, alright. Dude, they got the foam pit, they got this.
I'm loving Brian Jenkins
They
right
got a couple fucking jumps. Alright, good. You know, hey,
Hey Jerry, I've heard this before.
Metro,
so I don't know how
Metro's
much
got it going
stake,
on,
but
dude. Exeter, you know, the
I
mountain
heard they
bike
were
deal.
getting a new one.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe it or not, but I did hear from someone that day that
I've,
they
you know,
plan
I've
to
heard
build
that
one.
for a while, but I also know that the guy who built the gate is here right now,
Hey, what's up, cousin Jerry?
put a few less hinges on it. The thing is, it's been there for 14 years.
Yeah.
And blade plates is working. I saw it when I was welding the gate up for him. The end blade plate's working, moving around, to put more hinges on it. It just makes it tight, doesn't want to fall away shit. I know that. Most people know, I don't know, a lot of people know that, but it's one thing, it's gotta be replaced.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to be an above ground gate for it to work at that track because dirt moves over time. End of story.
Everything settles.
Yeah, and right now it's tight. Didn't want to fall. You saw, I mean, watching a video of the Manteca State qualifiers today, and every one of my riders at the gate in the main. Every single one of them. I'm like, and they weren't the only ones, don't get me wrong, they weren't the only, there's plenty of other people that did it. But every one of our riders in the main.
Novices too.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things that, it's time.
Yeah, you got your lifespan out of it?
Oh, that's the second gate they've had there since the track opens. In 14 years, they had 2 gates, and it's over. It's time to change it up. But it is what it is. You know,
You're saying I'm good? No?
oh, you've always been good. You're number one in my book, bro.
That baby.
You're number one. I love you.
Yeah, baby. Wow, I really don't know.
Nobody hit us with any wild, crazy rumors.
No,
huh?
I keep looking
Yeah.
at good shit.
You
But
know what?
Brian Jenkins is killing me. I love this guy's.
You know what?
Funnier than shit.
Yeah, you know what, Nick? I've been honestly been trying to keep an eye on the chat and keep everything copacetic and.
It's all good, and we're not talking shit on anybody. I'm like I said. I mean,
No, dude, everything has been freaking on point.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, no one's bashing even our local track. I mean, there's some issues, but Rick should put out a prison workout.
That's fucking Billy.
Hey, you could be right. Just like what was that? The Mexican guy that does it.
You know, Billy.
No, the Mexican
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
on Facebook. What's his name?
Yeah.
He does the stationary bike.
The
Cholo workouts.
Yeah.
Cholo workouts. It'll be midget workouts. Dude,
Mhm.
we'll be doing.
Hey, Kevin, and the
You can
fucking
option
track's
out
too
some
long,
step
too.
stools.
It's about 2 straights too long.
It's just sign them, put Thunder Midget, step stool certified.
It is what it is. I mean, honestly, we don't usually have to deal with a gate like that. They're not, none of them are perfect. Some of them
Yeah.
are just, what was it, Oregon? You said those gates, you couldn't catch it. You went to Oregon, didn't you?
Oh God.
I haven't been on that one yet.
Oh, you have been?
But I do know that one is definitely quick.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
And that's what John's talking about getting here in Manteca, is that gate.
That's
I heard that was the same rumor. Cool, it's true now.
Yeah, that's verified.
That's
Well, and I know the price of that gate.
that's
and-
something just fast, dude.
I mean, I'm not speaking on anybody's pockets, but you can absolutely afford that gate, no problems with the entry fees from that weekend, and still have lots of money left over. I will say that much.
Absolutely. Only my way.
Oh,
You
people
say
are
I'm
coming on
sorry,
the
it took it
gate?
3 times. Well, you know what? If you didn't learn the first
Oh,
two-
cousin
Yeah, you gotta make
Yeah,
your
hey.
adjustment after the first time.
Hey.
I feel sorry for you the first time. After that, you gotta make your adjustment.
Hey, I felt like such a dickhead. Alright, so we're in staging like last week. Like, yeah, I'm sitting there, I'm like talking to fucking Isaiah and all this shit. He's like, dude, fucking yesterday just like sucked. I'm like, what the hell happened? Fuck. I flipped the fucking gate fucking twice. I'm like, alright, dude, hey, throw your fucking junk in the trunk, freaking Jennifer Lopez.
Go home.
Freaking sag that son of a bitch back.
I mean, I'm
cool.
so enough, I won't ever flip the gate. So, I don't
Everyone
think-
on our team
Totally,
did the gate.
totally, Megan. Dude, I tell you what, Morgan. Hey, dude, get up there, like, dude, it was hellfire and brimstone.
You gotta. I told Tim after you.
I
you
got a
hit-
gate, and then next thing you know, dude, here goes Isaiah. He's fucking ass over tea kettle. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, dude?
Hey George, if you are familiar, if you remember the old UCI individual 8 gates, I have one of those purchased. I just got to move it over, and that will be the next gate I have.
It's what gate?
They use it at UCI Supercross in San Jose, and Manchester on
Oh.
the Amateur Hill has one.
Are
Same
you
premise.
talking about the original?
Yeah. So it's 8
From the Shark
individuals,
Tank?
and they're So I rode that. If you didn't know that.
I saw the
flat
video.
pedals.
I saw the video. Yeah, you and every
Kyle Zondervan,
Hurst and everybody. Yes.
Jason Morris broke both of his arms.
Yes.
First
Yes.
jump of the day.
Yes, he
You
did.
know what? He deserves it.
No, he don't. No, he
he
don't.
does.
Back then he didn't. Now he does. 'cause
Now
he's
he
too
does
fast, but-
because 29 inches sucks. Alright, dude, get a line, dude.
No,
Load up on the gate.
yeah, that they were talking that you should, remember I told you we were talking about that gate in Oregon, and I said I've seen it before. And you go, this is the prototype, and I was like, I argue with it. No, it's not. I've seen it before, and that's where it was. It was in San Jose.
Yep.
At that
Yeah,
Supercross
similar.
race.
Mhm.
the individual gates for each person. I knew I'd seen it, I didn't know where, but I knew I saw it.
So
And,
the last functioning one is the Manchester. If you watch the amateur side,
Right.
they still have that one, and then there's one that I've always tried to keep track of it, and it's
Right.
currently I'm not even tell you where it is. Motherfuckers might get it before
I've already got a couple gates, I'm good, trust me.
Hey, I'm down, dude.
No, that's that, but I knew I'd seen it before, and that's where I didn't know where. 'Cause you told me about the Oregon one, I'm like, I've seen it before. No, this is prototype. No, it's not.
No.
It wasn't. I knew I'd seen it, but yeah.
We're gonna hit up fucking Richard Bunt, dude. I'm gonna be like WCW all up in this bitch.
Yeah, over starting gates. But
Damn right, dude. Hey.
Yeah, George, the contest one works on one RAM across all 8,
Right.
whereas the UCI one had individuals.
Right.
And if I remember correctly, and this will be funny because if I ever get this gate, I'd love to see somebody test it. I heard that UCI quit with that one because apparently if you hit it hard enough, it would release.
Go down, right.
And then so people started just figuring
Slingshot
that out. If they were down, they'd just go a little bit early. And as long as you weren't too early, you could basically get going before everybody else. That's the rumor I heard.
Right.
I don't know that I would practice it. Maybe on
it's basically a slingshot.
yeah, maybe
Yeah.
on an absolute flat I would practice it. I don't know I would do that down a 5 meter hill.
No,
Hey, we don't condone anything like
Yeah.
that right here.
But do what you gotta do to win.
Hey, we're all about safety over
It's all
there.
about winning. It
Yeah.
ain't about safety. Don't
Yeah.
lie.
You know,
Ain't nothing safe
There
about
you go.
the show.
George
this room,
confirmed
nothing.
it. Yeah.
a W is a W, but let's go.
Yeah. Dude, you know what, Nick? This has been awesome. You know what? Because everybody's asking questions. Everywhere we go on Facebook, they're asking, they want to know what's going on, and
Yeah.
wait a minute.
There's a few out there that have been falling at different
Oh,
rates.
stop,
Yeah.
Billy. I rest my arm on top of Rick's head when I stand next to him. Just-
Right? Dude, leave it to Billy, dude.
But no, I mean, this is good, 'cause I mean, people have been asking on a regular basis, and I know Rick's been hitting me up about it, but hey, there's a time and place for everything.
Yep.
But it's nice, now everybody knows the truth.
No,
Hey, you got two choices, you like it or don't like it, and either you support him or you don't. But he's gonna be back, so there's no doubt about
Yeah,
that.
I mean, and I think that, here's the thing. If the PAL thing doesn't go my way, I come back. If the PAL thing doesn't go their way, they're done and you'll never see them. And quite
Right.
frankly, I feel we all own a little bit of BMX, and I'm perfectly happy seeing them out the door. Because I think when people aren't in it for the right reasons, the quicker they're out of it.
Yes.
It's-
So, so do you have any other like options on the table?
Yeah, like I said, there's quite a few. I mean, I don't think it's any secret. Like I said, Sunnyvale, San Jose, Livermore's reached out, Pleasanton's reached out, Morgan Hill has a place already to go, Fremont has a place ready to go. There's quite a few options. Yeah, and it's like, if the PAL thing doesn't work out, or I shouldn't even say the PAL thing, if the Santa Clara location doesn't work out,
Right.
then you just see me shift 100% to working toward those other things. And with the support of the sanction behind me, it just makes those things a little bit easier.
And it could be more than one.
Yeah, well, and yeah, that's the thing too. It's like, who knows? Maybe you end up with 2 smaller tracks. Yeah, maybe neither are as great as PAL once was, whatever. But to me, the end all is you still have the experience and the talent that made PAL what it was. Because if these people think that the PAL board made PAL what it is, you got a lot to learn, and,
Right.
and you'll watch that as it plays out. Because I'm sure it may just.
Well, they're not gonna be sanctioned, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No one's gonna ride there again.
And so with this,
You got it, Jim. Thank you.
um, so with this, your group is like fully invested with that on the table.
Oh yeah, I mean whatever the next phase is, it'll be me, the team, and like I said, it's not an I thing. It's I mean everybody's kind of locked in, and I think the
Have you
hard.
lost anybody to all this?
No, I mean like I said, there's been some parents that have kind of went the rogue way,
As
but
far as your
yeah, but no,
crew.
our core group. I mean everybody's kind of the same way. Joey's been a little distant, but he's got
He's racing cars this weekend.
well, and his dad's going through some medical stuff, so he's kind of, and it's all kind of happening at a real shitty time for him. But I mean, that's kind of the thing, right? BMX family, you pull them through and say,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
But it's still the same crew. I mean,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can do it, no
yeah,
problem.
it's gonna be the same
Totally get
people.
that.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, it's that group that, in my opinion, is kind of molded it and got the culture figured out and executing thing, and it is what it is.
Dude, I have more than one track. That's awesome.
Bullshit. Nick, more than appreciative for you coming by and speaking your piece, and I mean, especially with everything you've gone through. I mean, Facebook jail for shit that
Accusations. I mean, that's the worst part of it.
Well, I mean, you're speaking your mind, and then it's like, oh, dude, you're like locked up.
But the part about it, just
Yeah.
the accusation, like when I
Shit,
pulled him
shit.
back on Sunday or Saturday at the National, he's like, yeah, I'm stealing, but they give me this job.
Yeah.
I mean, dude,
Yeah. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
He had a wad, bro, of money, and I'm like, that's just the job they gave me. I'm stealing everything from. I'm like,
Well-
yeah, it ain't that. They just want more. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah, and to have something like that trickle down to your now, it's
Right.
like, dude, we're just trying to
It
ride
sucks.
bikes,
Yes.
ride bikes. You know, let's drop some motos, man. And we're like,
we said, get back on track.
You know,
and that's the thing too, is like, if you judge me on, I mean, if we go back 10 years, right, when Livermore ended, if you judge me as fucking Nick let Livermore die, and that was, you quit then that's what you're thinking of me. But the people that stuck around were like, shit, he went from what he learned at Livermore, and he moved that over to PAL, and look what he's got going on at PAL. So even those that are seeing, if you think this is the end for me at PAL, now just hang tight. You know, hang tight. Don't give up so quick, cause I got another round coming. You know.
so what was it with Livermore? It wasn't a power track, was it?
No, it's just City of Livermore. There was, I mean, it just timed out that ABA bought NBL. It was a pretty small track. The Fox just kind of never took it over as they envisioned, which happened, right? I mean, everybody's got home.
It's a big
Yeah,
dedication.
everybody. And here's the thing, right? If I own my own business, which they do, I can do it because my job lets me take off early 3 times a week, and I tell them, hey, I'm running summer camp, so I'm gonna start at 2 o'clock every day this week, and they don't give a shit. But I mean, I think PAL would suffer if I had more of a normal 9 to 5 job that didn't give me the ability to do that. So So for somebody else, if you have your own job that's your livelihood, and then you have the bright idea to start a track, because we're all parents, right? If your kid loves racing and you see that the track needs to be taken over, most people will try to take it over just to keep it going.
Yeah.
And that's not being selfish for their kids.
No.
You do it for the whole community, but you just do what you can. But when it comes down to doing it, you're like, holy shit, this is kind of a lot of work,
Yeah.
you know? So I don't fault them, and like I said, I don't fault any TO, because even if you could only do it for 3 weeks, you probably have a whole nother respect for it in that 3 weeks, and you'll definitely appreciate the next guy that comes. So, you know,
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
still sitting at 75. This is going to be the highest count for a
Oh,
sign off.
Bar none.
For a sign off, usually
Well,
you trickle
hey,
down.
I told you to save them fucking 20s from the parking lot deal, dude.
Next biggest one was the one where Rip was naked. So I mean, you know,
Like shit, dude. Man.
we appreciate it, Nick. I mean, I know you could have gone anywhere you wanted to and told the story. And
I mean, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Nick being
Talking
able
shit,
to hey, saying his piece.
oh yeah, well, absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
I mean, he got
Everybody wants to know.
he got handicapped.
Everybody
Like,
wants to know what's
really
going
bad.
on, and now they're gonna hear from the horse's mouth. I mean,
You know.
it doesn't get any better than that.
And shit, and you see with the state races and the finals going on in freaking Florida, and we're here like California, like dude, we're mid-season, we ain't got nothing going on, you know, we got this, we got that, you know. This track's looking for a track operator, yeah. Dude, it's a,
Kevin's giving you big props.
There you
dude,
go.
it's a tough fucking deal, man.
It is. It sucks.
You know,
And like I said, I didn't go up there as much as I should have, but when I went up there, I was never disappointed. Compared to before, not compared to before, but just some tracks just until certain people take it over, it's not right. I mean, we have a couple of them around here that could be.
Yeah, we had those where it was like it's pretty cutthroat and shit.
Like Lemoore and Hanford.
And,
You know, why is he
Yeah.
taking care of them? He's hooking them up, he's doing them right. Nick took care of Santa Clara. You know, I mean, you just have to find the right people in the right
Yeah,
positions.
and it's the right niche, it's the right fit. You know what I mean? Like,
You have to
Yeah.
want it.
and
as
there
well.
there may be a TO somewhere that works perfect for PAL. Doesn't
Right.
push the envelope, real by the book, is gonna do all the back end work for them. And yeah, maybe it will work perfect for them. For me, I run it at 100 miles an hour, and to me,
Fucking
you
all the
figure,
way,
yeah,
dude.
yeah, run it on the edge and fucking
All
till
the
the
way,
Tesla
dude.
battery runs out.
damn right, dude. Yeah, nope,
Yeah.
that's legit, dude.
Oh, now all this is because of Charles. This is all
There you go.
because Charles
Yeah.
started it up for us. Which I see. Good job, Charles. Thanks, Chuck.
Yeah, right on.
Good job.
I'm in the pump.
That a boy, baby.
Yeah, that was awesome, though.
All right, guys. Hey, chat room is open. Other than that, that's gonna do it for a show. I mean,
Nick's had enough fun with this already, I think.
well, I mean, dude, just everybody and their support and tuning in.
For
Like,
us, for him, all of it.
you know, like, share. I mean, the biggest thing is to share it.
Yeah, put
You
it
know,
out there.
Share the fucking information because it's huge.
And get to that meeting on Tuesday.
You know, Tuesday the 24th.
You don't want to move, do you?
You know,
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
So why
Well,
we want
I
a
mean,
meeting?
so here's my thing. I want to move, but you'd have no break in your ridership if you could keep programming there.
Absolutely.
And then people aren't, because to me, everybody deserves to have a local track.
Right.
And me telling them, hey, I'm gonna keep working on this thing over here, but let's keep this going. And here's the thing, that revenue can then just directly feed that next big thing. You know,
Right.
like I can go to USA and say, hey, I want a 5-meter hill. How the hell are you gonna get a 5-meter hill? Because I'm making enough here that I can pay for it. So let's get to it, you know?
God, we need to sit down and talk and figure this shit
hey,
out.
get the fundamentals, baby.
Yeah.
Because there's an opportunity here locally that I've been talking to a guy that I need to pick your brain. But yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it though. Keep what you got, expand from there.
Yeah, because if you cannot have that gap in ridership, because that's the other tough part is, and yeah, you'd have probably a good 70-75% of your ridership, but you're still going to have to get back and you're going to have to run a beginner league, you're going to have to refill those novice classes.
Right.
Right.
Because everybody that's hardcore, they'll come right back. But a lot of people, in the 6 weeks it's been closed, soccer started back up. So so you gotta reprime all those novice classes all over. And here's the thing, I don't know that another TO is gonna be able to get in and do that.
We're gonna want to do
Yeah,
that.
so it's like, they've got to figure that out. And honestly, me even saying that is the most advice I can give you. You're going to have to get to work. You're starting up against a rough wall. So,
Hey, so Santa Clara PAL BMX, ground up.
Big meeting come Tuesday.
There we go.
Don't
Coming
miss
up
it.
24th.
Don't miss it.
Uh,
Especially if it's your own track, you're gonna need it.
yeah.
dude,
Otherwise, you're coming here.
don't nobody want to come here, man.
Here in Manzanita, one or two.
Hey, we're lucky we got freaking Nick freaking show up on the show.
Have a good one, Sebastian. We will see you there,
So,
bud.
Appreciate everybody tuning in, the likes, the shares. It's gonna go big. If you could share more than that, greatly appreciate it.
Yep.
Because, hey, Papa Nick been doing the footwork. I mean, like, for what, 3, 4, 5
Yeah,
years?
shit. I've been running PAL for 5 or 6 and
Been
been
doing the-
racing for 25.
Been doing the footwork for freaking 5 years, man. You know, we
Don't let it
can't-
go to waste.
Yeah, we can't let nothing like this just
Go away.
Yeah, not quietly at least.
We've lost
Yeah.
enough tracks.
We
don't
go
need to
away
lose any more.
kicking and screaming. I can respect that.
weed out of our hands and all that shit.
They
You know.
zoom it and stream it, Rigo. So you can even just email in your quote, and they will be forced to read it. So you could literally just
Really?
log into the Zoom, and there's like a quote chat kind of thing, and then they read it in the record. So
Awesome.
you could just And I get it, man. A lot of people don't want to drive all the way from wherever.
Yep.
I totally understand. But yeah, you can take a couple minutes, draft that email, send that quote.
Well, that's because Riga don't want to turn expert.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, love you, Rigo. Just gonna throw it out there, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thanks for tuning in. We had a blast.
You know what, dude? You gotta kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, the big one needs to get rung up. That's
Yeah,
what there's to it.
hey, grin and share, baby. Grin and share.
Now, Grindle is going to bring them up. You are now an expert.
Thank you, Jimo.
Yep, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Nick, I tell you what, can't say enough for you coming by the studio, dude. Greatly appreciate you and everything that you, your crew, and everything that you have done, and the details and everything to a T is, I think, is gonna speak volumes.
Absolutely.
Honestly.
Yep.
You know, it's gonna be a big one. I can only anticipate going to Manteca tomorrow for their local race and seeing a bunch of people like, hey, dude, you guys had a hell of a show, dude. You know, Nick was on there, this, that, the other. So you know what, Nick?
You told me that not that many people like him.
Dude, don't nobody
Asking
like.
for a friend.
Hey, the three of us don't nobody like us. Alright?
Hey, I've done that my whole life. I'm just bringing it into my world, that's all.
That's just throwing it out
Hey,
there.
thanks, Nick. Appreciate it, bro. That's awesome.
Sir.
Great.
It's nice hearing the real story. What's really going on.
Well,
Rumors is rumors.
you know,
but
Rumors are fun.
It's nice to hear the truth. Yeah. Oh, yeah, rumors can be a blast, but not when it comes to this.
Well, you know what? Hey, everything comes under the fucking same umbrella. You know?
That's his jersey found this one.
And
Oh my God, that didn't take long, did it? Holy shit. We only got 2.5
Shots
hours.
fired.
Oh my God.
you know what?
That's hilarious.
I can't catch a goddamn break. I swear. You know,
We're getting ready to take Rick to the Salvation Army too.
I try so goddamn hard.
You do.
Whatever. But Nick,
I'll
hey,
turn X when I get that factory sponsor. Come on, Dad, budget ain't got room for. Oh, come on.
who now?
Your factory's paid for your kids. Give me a break, Solano.
Beerman?
No, Solano.
Oh.
I'll turn expert when my kids get or when I get a factory deal.
Little factory deals in there, man.
Your kids' factory deals already? Come on, bro.
Alright guys, hey, that's gonna do it for episode
110, 110.
109. 110.
Tomorrow's
Because
109.
tomorrow's gonna be 109.
We're back tomorrow for 109.
Yeah, we're kind of ass backwards with the way the whole
It's Rick's show. I mean, come on. You know how he is.
machismo, dude, mountain bike, BMX, freestyle,
Art.
everything is just like F.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks, guys. Appreciate all your help and all your viewing. And
Hey, dude,
like, share, subscribe.
especially on this one, man.
Yes.
You know,
Spread the word. So
it's a
help,
big
help Nick out. Help
Yeah.
a brother out.
like, share, subscribe, dude.
Yeah.
Greatly appreciate it.
Attaboy, Mark.
And everything. And hey, we'll catch you tomorrow.
Manana?
What time?
Oh, I don't know, 2, 3.
Something. Afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yeah.
Gotta sleep in. It'll be a long night tonight. We ain't even started.
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys. Hey,
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hey, Nick, appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for coming in, and hopefully this raises some awareness
Yeah.
Awareness
to
record
all
strike.
the other BMX track operators out there.
And to the other TOs, keep working at it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not easy. You gotta put time in.
No,
Little
definitely.
friends out there. Every
Yeah.
track can definitely get better, and don't take it personal. We all just want better for the ridership. So.
There
Yeah.
it is.
Definitely.
All right, boys.
All right, guys.
Ladies, gentlemen,
Everybody
thank
be
you.
cool. Be safe. Love y'all.
Dude, it feels weird hearing without those on now.
That's why I take mine off.